Cheers, everyone. Here's to your bods. Mm. 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 That's quite interesting. This is Dewish 12, blended scotch, but I had just a little bit, like an ounce and a half of Johnny Green, which is 15 blended scotch. But anyways, so it's a mixture. It's a mixture. It's definitely more smoky than normal with Dewish 12. And nobody cares. Uh, nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. Um, nobody cares. It is what it is. Hope you're all staying fresh. This cigar here is provided us by Genesis by Joshua. We're smoking the Puro Especial, the AJ Fernandez New World. Now you might be saying, why am I smoking this one, right? He sent me some beautiful sticks and some really high-end sticks. And I'll tell you why. My palate's not clean. I had a cigar today. Not a big cigar, but nonetheless, I had a Don Carlos. But not a strong cigar. Doesn't matter. I had that around, I don't know, 1 o'clock. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to review a cigar, that's especially not, what's up, man? If you're going to be reviewing a cigar that's not really that strong or more beautiful than strong, if it's your second cigar of the day, it's not a good idea. So that's why I chose to smoke this one right here, the Puro Special. So being AJ Fernandez, I knew it's going to be very strong. And I know exactly kind of what to expect from AJ. So when it comes to me reviewing cigars, it has to be really the first cigar of the day. I can't stress it enough. Once you have a cigar, any cigar, your second cigar, you really can't review it. You really can't, especially if it's not extremely strong. But in this case, AJ is always dark earth, black pepper. You know exactly what to expect. So in this case, unless we're talking about elevator Pinto, it's just gonna smooth over. So you understand what I'm talking about, Anthony? But a lot of guys will say, "Oh, I tried a cigar, but I didn't like it." I don't know. Well, it's like, how many cigars do you have today? 3, 5. If a cigar is your third, fourth, or fifth cigar of the day, you're not tasting that cigar. I just can't stress it enough. You know what I'm saying? No, you're literally. It's like the souls of all the cigars you smoked that day are surrounding you. You know what I'm saying, though?
Can you hear me?
I didn't hear anything. Now I can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
You can hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I once read someone say that eating unsalted almonds
Yeah.
will cleanse your palate. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard that from multiple places.
It's one way I've heard of guys drinking electrolytes, drinking Pedialyte, but you can't uncleanse the nicotine. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
There's only so much your body can process. The nicotine. It's like being drunk, right? You have 1 or 2 cigars, your bloodstream, you got a lot of nicotine, man. You know what I'm saying? No, it's in your body. So even if your palate, you know what I'm saying? It's like with alcohol. You have 2 or 3 drinks. That 4th drink, even though it's the same amount of alcohol, it's hitting you harder because all the other drinks are hitting you too. So
No, I always agree. Smoke the one you want to enjoy the most. Smoke it first. Absolutely.
the one you want to understand, the cigar you understand has to be the first. You can have more than one cigar and still have a good time, but at that point, it's kind of like the first firework, right? If it's a quiet sky, that first firework, wow! And then when there's 100 going off, you can't tell one from the other. It's a shit show, you know. But that it's that clean slate, you know. And I'm telling you, like for example, imagine smoking this cigar, the Puro Special, an AJ, and then having a Don Carlos. You're not going to taste the Don Carlos.
Yeah.
This is a heavy Nicaraguan Puro. So it's for me when it comes to reviewing. It It has to be the first cigar of the day. But the first cigar I had today was like 5 hours ago. It was a Don Carlos, not that strong. So this one will just snowball right over it. So if you have to go for a second cigar,
So for the first time,
how is that?
very good.
Yeah,
This was a Churchill size. It's the first time I always wanted to try it. It's really nice Nicaraguan cigar. I really like it.
I
Got
like
pretty good strength.
Lebanon has some really cool wrappers. Did you never notice for Nicaraguan cigars, they have a lot of wrappers that aren't like super dark, but their cigars are still pretty stout. But you know what I'm saying? The Lucioni doesn't just do like classic Maduro wrappers. They have a lot of cool wrappers.
Yeah, I've smoked some light. I forgot which cigar. Some lighter wrappers, but still a lot of flavor in the
Uh,
cigar.
yeah, just because it's not a dark wrapper with Lucioni, you're gonna get power. You know,
Yeah,
um, and definitely a good nicotine kick.
yeah. This one's
Lucione is,
really nice.
I think Lucione is a very serious brand. They don't do like
Hmm.
fluff cigars. They don't do like you know make a blend just to make it or
And not expensive either.
no. I think Lucione kind of reminds me of a brand that's like in its own category, almost like Blackwork Studios. Like they're okay alone. Like they're not
Yeah.
trying to be someone else, which is fine. If you have a brand trying to be someone else, I respect that too. That's like flattery. But Lucione, you kind of throw Tatuai in there. You got Blackwork Studios brands that are like, I guess you call boutique brands in a sense, but they're big. But I don't know, they're not conglomerate brands. It's not the Romeo, Monte Cristo, Cohiba, Party. They're not, so I'm not saying they're the best brands either, but I like what they do.
This one I bought online was like $9 and change for a Churchill. You
huh?
can't beat it. Can't
No.
beat it.
How strong is it?
It's it's mid to full, I would say.
Yeah. What's the weather like over there?
It's like 50, 55 degrees right now, probably with a little wind, so it cooled off. We had two record-setting days of heat a couple of days ago. Got up to 90 degrees one day, and then like close to 90 the day before. It was hot as hell, but it cooled off again.
He said it froze. He's smoking the Lucione. What's the name of it?
Cruzado,
Cruzado. Okay, interesting.
really good. This was actually it was a different band years ago, and they redid it. But I think the blend type is still the same, more or less. It's a
And
very
that's
good cigar. I
right.
definitely
What I always
recommend it.
say, rebranding sometimes is a good thing because even if you don't have any new cigars, in people's minds, it's new. Because here's the thing: maybe they remember your old band, they go, "Oh, I never tried that one," or they did, or whatever. And now there's a new band, they're like, "Oh, what's that cigar?" They try it again. You know what I'm saying, though? So I think every few years, it doesn't hurt to refresh your band, unless if it's like a sellout cigar, where let's say like a
Right.
can't get enough of them. So then you
Yeah,
really don't need to. Like Padron 26, in my opinion, the band I think should be updated, but they're like, we don't have to. Why?
yeah,
Like, but
yeah. I don't think they're ever gonna do that
no, dude, it's been like that, what, 20 years?
forever. I just ordered today two the new release, the Davidoff Millennium Lanceros. I'm
Ooh,
looking forward to getting those. Yeah, they finally came available for sale,
nice,
so I ordered a couple. That should be really nice.
nice.
They're like 7 inch by 40 something. I forget.
Mm,
Should be
nice,
interesting. Should be a really tasty cigar.
nice.
Well, expensive. They're like $30 a piece about. So it is a Davidoff.
Dude, I listened to your album today.
I
Were,
told
were,
you get a
were
kick out of it.
you the singer or the drummer?
So I'm one of the singers. We had there's actually four singers on that little CD there. And so I sing lead vocals on 2 of the songs, and then I'm in the background and all the rest of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many records did you have?
Just that one. But we had a lot more songs that came after that, but they didn't make it onto that first CD, and we
Did you have
never ended up making them.
self-funded?
What's that?
Did you have a record deal, or was this self-funded?
No, self-funded. Yeah, we
Did
paid
you
for all that.
did you go on any kind of tours, or did you play at bars? Or
We played a lot of shows in the city in Manhattan for a while. Did like a year and a half, 2 years where we played a lot of shows. It was fun. Nothing big, but
yeah,
we had a nice little crowd. Yeah,
the,
it was a good time.
2006, so you were probably a young man back then. It was like, what, was 20 years?
Yeah.
Shit. Dude, let me tell you something, man. Those were some ballsy songs.
Yeah, playing them live was was a trip too.
Okay, I'm going to start off with the first song called Stinky Clinky.
Right.
It starts off talking about how bad this woman's clinky stinks. And
Right.
it doesn't stop from there. Like, it just kept going.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
telling her to wear 6 pairs of underwear, um, to, it smells like a Chinese seafood market. Uh, it was quite impressive.
Like shellfish on a Chinatown street.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised it didn't make it on the radio.
Yeah.
I think you were ahead of your time because now they sing songs about WAP, wet ass pussy. You know what I'm saying now? So they sing songs about everything now. So I think if you came out now, you could have played that on the radio.
Oof. I don't know. I think we would get arrested. We tried to play a show like at a festival, and they said no, you can't play out in public. You can't do that. We're not You can't do that. You can't say those things out in public. So yeah, probably right. But it was a good time, man. It was a good time.
Yeah, I mean you can't sing. It's not lyrics for children. This is an adult rock band.
Yeah, it's for adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And the thing is, weren't marketing to children. It was an adult rock band. Like you weren't hiding. Like you weren't. You know what I'm saying? No, like you literally were like the first song was called Stinky Clinky. Like this is not for kids.
Right.
And then you had a song about traffic, which I don't know if I connected with that one, but the other one talking about a song about you were banging some other guy's girl. And he said, I put a baby in your bitch. You knocked up some other guy's girl. And then he said,
Bust that hymen, yeah.
Bust the hymen, yeah. And then he said, I knocked up your bitch, and now you got to deal with the kid.
And now you're stuck with it, yeah.
I moved on to the next bitch.
Right.
Quite shocking. Quite shocking.
Yeah, my friend, he wrote that song, and he wrote Stinky Clinky and that song. He really, he was a songwriting machine, but he's totally out of his fucking mind. Like I tried to write, I wrote this song about traffic. I wrote the song about the ninja, how a ninja. If you're a ninja, you're not going to get evicted. Yeah, so that's about a guy we grew up with, and he always claimed he was a ninja, but then he got evicted from his apartment because he became a cokehead. So yeah.
Like, where did he go? He's in the back doing coke. And honestly, for you from New York, if you're at a party and somebody disappears for like 10 minutes, they come back and they're like, yeah, that's that one of those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it was some interesting shit.
Yeah. I always thought the music was really good. Like my friend was a serious guitar player. He played like.
It was better than it wasn't that the writing was bad. I just think the topics, it's almost like it's not palatable for radio. And I had it on, I was in a parking lot, and then some family walked by, I lowered it because I was like, man, I don't want kids to hear this. Like, you know what I'm saying though? Like, it was.
I understand.
It's
like even some of the songs. When I heard the idea, I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, does every song have to be about a pussy or something fucking? Like we have another song called Pussy. It didn't make the CD. It came after, but it was a big hit.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty elaborate. So the first one was Sneaky Clinky, which was pretty catchy. Then the second one was about the ninja one, but I got evicted. I like that one, and I like the music on that one. What was the third? Fat Girls.
Third one, probably was it Thomas? Thomas?
In the album, you had a bunch of BBWs. Why?
What's that?
In the paperwork with the lyrics inside the CD, there was a bunch of BBW.
Yeah, that was a lot of weird shit that they put together. I really didn't have much to do with that. But a lot of all those shots are from Coney Island, and the rides over there is where all those photos were taken.
So
on the boardwalk.
Your idea?
What's that?
BBW wasn't your idea.
That's not really my. That's not really my.
It sounds like you were part of the band, but you would have taken the band in a different direction. Interesting.
So I just felt it was kind of a good mix because I had, they wrote really out of control songs, and I tried to write like more normal songs, more serious kind of songs. So it's a little bit of a blend of everything.
Traffic song, even though you weren't talking about Clinky, it was pretty aggressive though. Like you were pretty mad about being in traffic.
So I wrote that song sitting in traffic.
You were really mad. I felt
yeah.
like honestly like homicidal rage in that song.
Yeah. All the things that in that song are true. All that actually happened.
Yeah, if you understand the Belt Parkway, I traveled it for years, from Long Island, Suffolk County, Ronkonkoma to Flatbush, south. Terrible commute. So I know the Belt Parkway is terrible.
I used to drive home from the South Bronx to my neighborhood in Brooklyn every fucking day. It was torture.
See, people don't. And from the South Bronx to Brooklyn, what are you talking about? Not even 20 miles. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. People don't understand what kind of traffic. There's no straight line in New York City going from Brooklyn south to like Bronx north. You're screwed. You're screwed.
I was on the Van Wyck on the Van Wyck to the Belt Parkway. It was a fucking nightmare.
You're better off having to go east to west in New York. If you got to go north to south, you're done. If you got to go from like, for example, like South Brooklyn to like North Nassau County, or vice versa, North Nassau County to South Brooklyn, you're fucked. Because if you got to go down and over, those times no down and over. You might have to go like this, or going back south from Long Island from Brooklyn. You start going here, and then when you take Ocean Parkway, you'd rather go all the way down the Ocean Parkway, but just to avoid traffic. No,
yeah.
Let me tell you that hell ride, because you got to go out of way this way, and then when you got to come back, you're going out of way that way, and you got to cross 2 ocean bridges. And I remember taking so many Ocean Parkway, but at least you moved on Ocean. I've never sat in traffic on Ocean Parkway. The only people that would stop on the highway is probably people throwing dead bodies, and that's a true thing. People dump a lot of bodies on Ocean Parkway because it's the most secluded part of Long Island, with the highway. Ocean Parkway. If you see somebody pulled over on Ocean Parkway, I'm telling you they're dumping a body. That was the whole Gilgal thing, but more than just the whole Gilgal. I mean, the mob used it, regular guys used it, rich people, poor people. If you're pulled over on the Belt Parkway, and it could be in the afternoon, middle of the night, the Belt Parkway to the Ocean Parkway, they're still finding bodies out there. They're still finding them. It is what it is, and nobody cares. What was that last song on the album?
Skinny Bastard.
Skinny Bastard. I didn't really listen to that one. I have to listen to it again. I have to. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of my friends. He's actually a doctor. So he left the band to become a doctor. He's actually went to Princeton. And we all grew up together. Those are all my childhood friends. Everybody that's in the band, which was fun.
No, it seems like I'll tell you what though. The strongest part about it was it was a tight band.
Yeah.
The not what you were saying, but how you were saying it, like the harmonics and the band was tight. They were talented musicians. There was one, I think it was the third or fourth song where it started off with just music, and I was like, damn, that's actually pretty good, music. And yeah, that's pretty cool, man. It's a shame it didn't go further, but how many bands? It's so hard to get picked up.
Right, right. I always felt the same way. Like the music, like it legitimized us in a way. You know what I mean? Even though the lyrics were very fucked up and the singing isn't great, the music was like, holy shit. These guys can really play. Even when we played shows, other like established bands who were really, super serious, rock bands. We would be the last show, the last act to go on, and they were like, who the fuck are these guys? So it was fun. They looked at us, and when we got up there, they would say, "Holy shit! Look at these fucking lunatics." So it was always fun.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. And thank you for the El Rey del Mundo. I have, I think, 5 or 6 now in my box because
Nice.
Flex or 2 days ago's Flex uh,
Yeah.
sent me two. I already had two, and I had that one, or I might have bought three. I don't remember, but so I got quite a few. So
All right.
this is the first time in I don't know how long my humidor I could barely close the lid.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been getting a lot of cigars lately. You got a
Well, for me, yeah, I
nice
know
selection.
cigars. I normally fly by
Yeah.
night. I normally go once a
Mhm.
week, buy a few sticks, and that's that. I kind of like the hunger. I kind of like the thrill of it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I guess I'd rather hunt than hoard. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
I like the danger, but and I know I'm
Nice.
the only cigar channel that doesn't have. I could guarantee that. I could guarantee you that. You go to any other cigar channel, ask the guy on the show, how many cigars you got? Oh, zero. Thanks for asking. Like this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I kind of it's refreshing for me. You know what I'm saying though? It's refreshing me. Yeah, hold on a second. Hey, does somebody want to put Gail Sack where he belongs? Um, Anybody here, you're welcome to send Sack to the dome. Whenever you want. Whenever you want to do it, this is a sanctioned hit. Sanctioned hit right, right from the Godfather. In fact, I order someone from this dome to send him to it. Send him there. And in fact, send him there the whole night. Nobody cares. What's up, Jason? How's your balls? But he was saying, though, that he went back to his store and he bought every fucking Padron 64 Maduro. Because he got them for $5 a piece. And I thought he said he hated that cigar. He's full of shit.
Ah, so he was bullshitting.
Bro, I think he was just trying to be shocking. I can't imagine anyone smoking a Padron 64 Maduro and saying it was garbage. Like, what are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the first cigar I fell in love with back in the day.
That is one of the most
First one.
in the Maduro. That is one of the most reliable cigars you could have. You know what I'm saying though? Of course, I've had cigars that I got more out of, but that cigar gives like a multivitamin. That cigar gives you everything you need out of a stick, and anything more than that is just bonus. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Anything better than Padron 64 Maduro is just bonus. So if something's better than a Padron 64 or 26 Maduro, it doesn't make those cigars garbage. Like 64 and 26 Maduro Padrones are the pinnacle of Nicaraguan cigars. And anything more, if it is better, or if it's the same but lower price, it's we're getting into minutia at that point. You know what I'm saying though? Like I could smoke a 64 Padron Maduro for the rest of my life, and I'll die a happy man. I would never go, exclusivo again. Like
I always said if I had to go to a deserted island out, what cigar would you? If you only could take one cigar, that's what I would take. A Padron 64, smoke.
you know, 26.
For the end. Yeah, I would smoke just that cigar. I'd be fine with that.
I can see the benefits of the 64 over 26, besides price, is if you if you want a little more power. I think a lot of guys will take more power than finesse. The 26 has more balance than Maduro. still has power, but it's more beautiful, but it's less raw power. The 64 with a little younger tobacco, you get more punch, but it's not as beautiful as the 26, unless if you view power as beauty. So it depends how you look at it. You know what I'm saying, though? You know, it really depends how you look at it. It depends what you want. I love them both. Okay, put it this way. Well, I can smoke 64 Maduro all the time. But then when I have a 26, I'm like, yeah, for me, I like this better. That being said, though, um, which one would I rather smoke a box over and over again? I don't know. I haven't done that yet because I'd have to buy a box of 64 and smoke them for a whole month, and then a box of 26 and smoke them for a whole month, and see which one I got bored first or which one I got more excited for. I would like to do that for a month straight and just do 20 26s and 20 64s and just kind of see like the long term uh, effect. I haven't done that yet. You know,
I love the 26 number 9. That's probably my favorite 26.
that's the big
That's like it's like a big robusto. It's
yeah
like a fat robusto, you know.
5 by 54 or something like that.
Yeah, the number 1 is the longest one. But I
I
like the number 9 probably the best.
I go for the number 6, which is more like I guess like a 48 robusto. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, but the number 9 is great too. I mean, I don't except for Sack, he says they're 3.0. You know.
At best.
And what's up, Sacco? What's up, Chewy? Yeah. For the rest of the night, guys. Every time Gail Sack comes back, I want you to pretend it's Iraq in 1991. The Gulf First Gulf War, just a bombing campaign. As soon as he comes back, he's Saddam Hussein. Knock him out. Knock him out. As soon as he comes
What's
back,
up, Sacco? Congrats on the watch, Sacco. You're a lucky man. That was a great unboxing he did the other night. So cool.
who's he saying this? He says, Sacco says, "How's your balls, Richie? Richie, none of your fucking business." That's absolutely right. Purple Goat says he wrote that song and went on to become a serial killer. I can't speak about it. Has anybody in the band been arrested for murder?
No, all good. Everybody's good.
All right, that's good. It is what it is. And nobody cares. It is what it is.
No worries, Harry.
Nobody cares. I'll say this: it's a pretty strong stout cigar, and the reason why and it's definitely a little edgy, but the reason why I chose, to me, timing is everything. If once you know about cigars, like or know what brands represent, I knew my palate wasn't clean, so I didn't want to smoke the Julius Caesar with not a clean palate and do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to smoke a Monte Cristo Espada. And so every cigar has a purpose. So in this case, I use more raw power. So this is fine after a Don Carlos a couple hours ago because it's not going to be getting in the way. Like, you know what I'm saying, though? It's almost like, okay, for example, if there was a rock in the road and you're driving a motorcycle, if you hit that rock, you could get into a bad wreck, right? But if there's a big rock in the road and there's a steamroller coming, does it really fucking matter? So in this case, I knew this thing was going to steam over the Don Carlos. Doesn't matter. When you get to old school AJ Fernandez raw power, you could smoke this as the fifth cigar of the night, and you're going to still understand this cigar. Have you ever smoked any of the like the San Latanos or like the regular AJs?
I smoked the San Latano. I remember it was good. I don't remember too much about it. I smoked some of those New Worlds too, but not that one. No.
Look, if you understand what he's trying to do and the price point, at least I respect that. If those New Worlds were costing $18, I would say it's a ripoff. But if you get a New World for like $8-9 in New York, you're getting a full power cigar, very inexpensive, not as nice as a My Father, but it's cheaper. So it is what it is. You're getting a lot of value, and you get what I'm saying though. It, you wanted a powerful cigar that was cheap, but at least it works and it's reliable, and you know exactly. It doesn't taste like shit, but it doesn't taste. It tastes like raw and powerful. So it's pungent. A lot of guys like that. If you're smoking 2 or 3 cigars a day, well then go smoke AJ, the old school AJ. I'm not talking about the newer ones like a Dorado or like the AG Room Nicaragua or the Monte Cristo 1935. These are getting up. These are getting up there, $15, $20 cigars, and that's more higher tier stuff. But so I don't mind what AJ does at $8, $9, $7 when you understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? It tastes like younger, strong tobacco. That's very heavy and very one-sided. If it's cheap AJ, I mean from like $5 to like $10. Like this here, this is another cheap AJ. The last call. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be like a very powerful, pungent, simple cigar. That don't try to pick out the flavor. It's just AJ screaming in your mouth, and that's fine. You know, this was the first AJ I ever had. I was at a shop years ago, and I had a few drinks, like maybe like three. So I wanted to smoke a cigar. It was an hour, but I said no, I don't want to drive yet. So I want another hour before I drive home. Because if I had three drinks, then you wait 2 hours after the last drink. 2 hours, you're fine because it's out of your system. 2 hours for only three drinks. So I went there and I bought a last call. I'm like, who's this? Oh, AJ Fernandez. And who the fuck is AJ Fernandez? I didn't even know who it was. But that was the first one. And now AJ makes literally, I think he makes 20% of cigars. If you go to a cigar, I'm telling you, 20% of cigars are AJ. Whether it says it, or whether he worked with someone else, or whether it says nothing. All of AJ Room is AJ. All of Foundation, so the OMAC, the Tabernacle, all that shit is AJ. Nobody talks about Espinosa. A lot of his stuff, AJ. It's like there's so many like literally brands. Forget about a blend, brands that he's like, yeah, I make that too, and you're like, holy shit, half of Altaitas he makes, and a good percentage of General he also makes. Like Diesel, that's all General, that's all AJ. El Rey del Mundo, that's AJ. Hoyo de Monterrey, he makes some AJ. Punch, AJ makes some. And I think there's a few more. So it's like, fuck. It's kind of scary.
Did you ever?
Makes. How do you feel about that?
I don't know too much about AJ Fernandez, to be honest with you, but I think cigars are getting better generally. So maybe it's a good thing. I mean, that El Rey del Mundo is crazy. I just got another box today. That cigar is fucking.
Yeah. Have you hold on? Have
ridiculous,
you
man.
told anybody yet about it, or you keep it a secret?
No, it's a secret. No. I won't do it.
Also, it's not just a secret, but if you post that on your Cuban thing, would guys get mad, or the guys get like snobbish about it, or?
Absolutely, and you can't post non-Cuban stuff on the page anyway. So, but I won't even post it on Instagram or nothing. Fuck that. I'm keeping it a secret. No way. Fuck that.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a shitload that's going to be around forever. So, nah.
No, I mean think about it. I mean something you could get 10 boxes for 1,000. Like that's a lot of cigars, and stock up. I think those are only going to get better with time, a few years. You know what I'm saying? Though, because they're not weak cigars.
No. I'm not ever going to find out.
Well, are you aging in the box? I would leave them sealed in the box.
Yeah, I have them in the box, and I just pull one out the day before when I want to smoke. I take it out of the plastic, off the paper. I take off and just let it sit.
Storage, keeping the same cigars together in a box, I think, so that way they all kind of stay pungent together. Where if you put it with other cigars, I'm not talking about short term, but after 5 years, like if you had a shade cigar next to a Maduro cigar after 5 years, would they affect each other? Especially if there's no cellophane. I think they would.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more so with like don't ever put infused fucking flavor cigars with your regular cigars. Nobody really smokes those, but no one should ever do that.
Buying infused cigars, I can't stress that.
Yeah. Did you ever smoke the punch I sent you a picture of, the People's Champ? I think probably not.
How good was it?
It was excellent. So I bought a few more. I think it's like some new edition cigar, like limited, whatever, but they're really good. I'll let you know when I smoke another one to verify it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's not expensive either. Nice, but it's really good. I was surprised by it. It was like on the website I was shopping on. They said, "Oh, we were lucky enough to get these." So I said, "Oh, let me try one," and it was really good. So I ordered more.
Yeah, he's Jason's smoking the Heritage, which is a very strong AJ. That's H. Upman. The H. Upman Heritage is the strongest. Well, it was the strongest H. Upman before I had the 175th, but it's still the darkest. If you ever get a chance to try the Heritage, but I don't know if you'd like it though. I mean, it's balls to the wall darkness and strength, and like very earthy, very black pepper, but I mean like blackout level of darkness of cigars. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Hmm.
if that's something you're into, like you know.
You never know what you're gonna like. I kind of like I like mostly everything. So, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a breakfast cigar, And then he was saying that he likes AJ's Last Call and the Tabernacle. Tabernacle is a great cigar, man. You ever had the Tabernacle?
No, no.
You never had Tabernacle or the Habano uh, broadleaf? You have the regular one or the David and Goliath. You never had that shit?
No, it doesn't ring a bell anyway. No.
Well, I think you would like it. I mean, the Olmec is better, but the Tabernacles have their place, and they're most of the time 12, $13. The Tabernacles are a serious cigar, like they're stout.
Tabernacle. I don't think so. I'll keep an eye. I'll
Tab
check it out. Check
feels
it
like
out tomorrow.
Tabernacle feels like a little edgier version of the Liga Number Nine, which makes sense because Nick Malio and Saka made the um, Liga Number Nine when they both worked for True Estate, and then Nick Malio now made Foundation, and Saka left and made Dunbarton. So I think it's not like Molino can literally just copy what he made for Jewish State because that probably be in poor taste. Like if you worked for Jewish State and made the league at number nine, and then 10 years later you leave, make your own company, you can't just make the same exact blend and like fuck you and like but like you really can't. I mean, because he knows exactly what the blend is. I'm not sure if they have to sign contracts or something like that, but or about because literally imagine they did the same. I mean when you make a cigar, not just the seed and the aging, the priming, and all the other little tweaks you did to it. And if you leave that company, you're not allowed to make the same blend. Or is there a patent? How does that work?
I don't know. I'm dying to try the that Julius Caesar cigar. I never had that. I know
Which
that's
one?
supposed to be a really good cigar. The
Uh,
one you got like the one similar to the one you got today. One of those. I never tried those. Those are expensive as hell in the shops.
dude, they're like $14, $15 here.
Yeah, not in Brooklyn.
How much in Brooklyn?
I think they were over 20 at the Davidoff shop. To be honest,
Yeah, they're gonna gouge in
I
taxes.
gotta look online. Gotta look online to find some.
Yeah, that's some gouging.
Yeah,
Uh,
I smoked that Atabey cigar the first time I ever smoked the Atabey. That fucking cigar is really good, man. I mean, it was smooth as hell.
yeah, it
It was
reminds
really good.
me either between like the Siglo Six and what's the BK. You know what I'm saying? No, along those lines. If you like that kind of slick cigar, um, it's not about power. It's a beautiful cigar.
Beautiful cigar. Very like distinctly very smooth. I thought.
Everything it does in the Atabey is perfect. If you like medium strength cigars on the lighter side, if you don't enjoy lighter cigars or medium strength, you're not going to like it. Just don't waste your time.
Yeah.
If you only
Yeah.
smoke strong shit, you're not going to get it. But that cigar, man, like I held the smoke so much on that, just because you
Yeah.
could, because it wasn't
Yeah.
on, like kicking your ass. And I've never look at the smile. Every time I had a Atabey, I have no bad memories.
I smoked it till it burnt my fingers. It was that good. It was that tasty all the way through.
Yeah, Atabey was great. Jeremy's smoking the Julia Shark right now. Actually, I think he was probably hoping I lit it up. I'm sorry I didn't, but I didn't. I'll do. I think I'm going to do the Julia Shark tomorrow. I'm going to do a review. I didn't want to do it tonight. My palate wasn't clean. But the Julius is a Fuente cigar, correct?
Yeah, isn't that? Yeah, yeah, right. Isn't it? And like with the diamond crown and
Those are all Fuente. I mean, those are
those are
Julius.
all Fuente.
Those are J.C. Newman in name only.
Because I know when I went to Casa Fuente a long time ago in Vegas, it's all the Casa Fuente cigars. I wound up getting a Diamond Crown Maximus and smoking
Yeah,
that, and it was really good. Yeah,
I like the Maximus. That's a
yeah,
powerful,
very nice.
not overly powerful, but it's got some raw power to it. If you like the Diamond Crown Maximus, in my opinion, you like the Oliva V. Do you like the Oliva V? In that opinion, they kind of cross-examine between those two. So the Oliva V and the Diamond Crown Maximus kind of feel like kind of cousin. If you like, I think the Diamond Crown Maximus is the better cigar, but
Yeah, I smoked a shitload of Oliva cigars. I mean, a lot.
they're
I
great.
like that Oliva, the Master Blends, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's the cheap one, but those are great. The Master Blends 3.
Those are really good cigars. Yeah.
That's a powerful little cigar. Over there. Is that windy over there?
Yeah, it just got windy for a second.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
All the shit's blowing around from the trees. Like all the pollen. I guess. Like if you have allergies, you'd be fucked. Like everything's covered in that green dust. That green
Yeah.
dust when the trees first start blooming. It's been nasty the last few days.
I just find it crazy you got a backyard in New York City.
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, so, hey, man, people don't understand. If you have a backyard in the city, you're doing well. You know what I'm saying, though? It's, uh, it's not like you go to other states, everyone's got a backyard, you know?
Yeah, I got a pretty good size, decent size little yard. Yeah, not bad.
How's the neighborhood? Is it quiet? Is it safe?
It got worse over the years, but still, it's still okay. Not like it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is.
That's what it is.
And nobody cares.
That's the problem. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. He's having the Olmec Maduro. He likes it. I told you. The Olmecs are great, man. I really respect the Olmecs. I knew from the first time before I smoked it, I saw it in the box. And the way they looked in the box, I was like, he's trying to go after Padron with this cigar. And if you look at the Olmec, of the size and like the shape of the band, it was kind of similar dimensions of a Padron like 64 band. Of course, there's a different. Forget about the what's on the band. I'm talking about just the dimension. You know what I'm saying, though?
Hmm.
And the way they looked in the box and everything else about it, I was like, all right, well, let's see. You got my attention. You're going after Padron, and honestly, that the Olmec can hang out Padron. It'd be I think it'd be a little childish to say, oh, it beats the Padron, and you never have to smoke Padron again. But I think it's a worthy competition. It's good. It's flattery. What do they say? Uh, when someone tries to imitate you, it's flattery. So I think the Olmec, if you enjoy Padron, I think you'll enjoy the Olmec. And one doesn't replace the other, but it's kind of it's just good competition. I think it's nice. You know? Yeah, Chicago's gone. Chicago's a war zone. It's been a war zone, but now the new mayor is even worse. The new mayor. Did you see what happened in Chicago this week?
No, I don't think so.
It's Mad Max. I mean, there was literally hundreds of kids running down the street, people getting
I
shot,
saw that today. Yes, I saw that today. Yeah,
and trashing cars, and lighting shit on fire. I mean, like, holy shit! Like, Chicago is, dude. People are leaving California and Chicago in droves, droves, like droves. The amount of people that have left California is staggering, staggering. I mean, there's still people there, but I'm telling you, like, when the governor literally trying to charge people to leave, but he can't because that's not legal. That's how you know they're worried. They're literally worried. They're trying to charge people because they left the state, or they also want people if they leave the state and they retired, like they want to still tax their pension. It's like, well, no, you moved to a new state. You know what I'm saying? You lost the revenue, but like let's say you go to Florida. Florida has no state tax. So that's why people, after they retire in New York, they go to Florida. They get the fuck out. So my
Yeah,
dad.
one of my friends was talking about, like he was saying, he was talking to his wife about moving eventually to North Carolina, and he said he brought it up that New York was talking about having some tax or some fee that when you move, they're gonna charge you to when you leave New York, when you move out of New York.
And it's not going to happen. They're going to. New York and California are two pillars of democratic idiocracy. Shit's retarded. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't do that. You can't. That's like a restaurant charging you because you left. You want another drink?
Imagine.
Fuck that. Yeah, you can live like you got like drugstores and like CVS and Walgreens closing down in California. Like San Francisco's gone. San Francisco is gone. San Francisco, Oaktown, Oakland, bro, don't go there. They're
Yeah, I have
literally
no plans to go there. Nope.
they're shutting down left and right. It's literally lawless. It's lawless. When I say it's lawless, like lawless. The amount of homeless and gangs there, and nobody goes like nothing happens. You can get shot by a homeless guy or stab you with a broken bottle, and trust me, it's not. Even if he went to prison, his life's better now. There's nothing you could do. When you're surrounded by people with nothing to lose, you got to get out. You know what I'm saying? That you got to get out of Cal. San Francisco's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
It's disgusting for people who pay a lot of taxes to have to fucking live in that. It's not fucking right.
There's plenty of good people in California. I have friends in California. My friend Steve lives in California. I'm in San Diego. It's beautiful. California is one of the most beautiful states in the country, and democratic policies have ruined it. Ruined it. It ruined it. Their policies of letting all these criminals out of the jails, all these criminals not getting arrested. But if you, God forbid, you're a legal person and you have a legal gun, you protect yourself. Oh, the buck will stop there. But if a criminal, shoots three people on a Saturday night in a drive-by, nobody cares. That's just part of being in Los Angeles. Nobody cares. I can't stress it enough. I can't stress it. I'll stay here. Good. It said 15-minute cities on the rise. I'm good. They're gonna catch Richie. Sack. Nobody gives a fuck about Minnesota. Sack is in the country in the cornfields. He's like, my neighborhood's going to shit. Look at the corn. It's just like you shoot. There's no more cats to shoot. Like Sack is shooting all the cats. It's what it is. So the smoking grape, as predicted, it's a bold, heavy, dark cigar. But it's very simplistic. It's very AJ Fernandez. AJ, until he either works with some other people or you get to his higher end stuff, that's when you'll get complexity and beauty. But if you go straight AJ on his mid tier stuff, um, you know exactly what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Though it's just ballsy cigars, but and they're heavy in the dark. You're not gonna smoke these and go, my God, what is that? Beautiful. Like what I'm saying? Though, you know, it's kind of like you go to a nightclub and all the club music sounds the same. That's like AJ. The DJ's just playing there. The house music. It's the same. You know exactly what this. Oh wait, here comes the next song. It's like, oh yeah, drop the beat. I didn't go much to nightclubs. I'm not talking rock.
Me neither.
You know what I'm talking about, where the DJ's playing this. All the techno music and everything else.
I
AJ,
fucking hate that shit.
AJ would be a great techno. They were like, oh, did you hear the new AJ song? Oh yeah, put it on. Put it on.
My friends used to drag me to those fucking places. I would just say, guys, I'm going to the bathroom. Bye.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
like the guy in your song, the Vanish. Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Bye.
Where'd he go? Is what it is. Sack. Hey, why is Sack still here? I made a decree for tonight. I thought I made a decree. What are you guys getting soft? I told you Sack is gone. We got a restraining order on Sack for the evening. Why is he here? Send him to the dome. Send him to the dome.
Well, if you got a wrench, you got to do your job. Come on, guys.
Thank you.
There you go.
Poor Sack is just like in and out of the dome. He's, I'll be back in 300 seconds, motherfucker. You know?
It keeps coming back.
Dude,
I'm
Sack.
gonna keep coming back here till somebody remembers seeing Richie.
Yeah, Sack is the guy in the back of the cop car that yells at the cop, "Just take me downtown, motherfucker!" Like, he knows the drill. Sack can give directions to the police station, to the police officer. No, you want to make a left on first. I'm telling you, traffic's better right now. I'm going right over. He's been arrested 100 times.
So someone's asking, is the El Rey de Mundo better than the Ramon Iones? I guess they're talking about the not Cuban ones, huh?
Who asked that? Oh, no,
Um,
AJ made a Remotalones. Yes, the El Rey del Mundo is superior to the Remotalones AJ
yeah, I
Fernandez.
would imagine.
The AJ Fernandez Remotalones isn't bad. That was one of his first, believe it or not, higher end AJs. When that came out, it was like $13, $14. And for him, it was a few years ago. I was like, wow, that's higher end for AJ. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying though? And it was kind of ballsy. I don't see that cigar anymore. It was kind of ballsy at the time, and I'm going back maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was ballsy for AJ to put out a $14 cigar 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like it was 5 years ago. Like Padrones were still like Principe like $12. You know what I'm saying? So it was ballsy. I remember when he got to that category. I'm like, the fuck is he doing? And I tried it, and I was like, it wasn't bad, but I was like, he doesn't belong here. Now of course, the market's changed on what prices are, but it was a forgettable blend. It wasn't bad, but wasn't great. The El Rey del Mundo was his best cigar.
What a great. I don't know how that cigar is just.
And dude, you smoke a lot. And I'll say you smoke more cigars than me, and I'll say this why. Because you smoke New World and Cuban cigars. I only smoke New World. I'm not saying I won't smoke Cuban, but I don't get them. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy them. So with you have experience on the Cuban side and non-Cuban, and you still love that cigar as much as Richie loved it. That's all you got to know. Like, what was it like the first time you had that cigar? Were you like, son of a bitch, Richie? You were right. Like, what was the feeling? Like, were you mad? How good it was, or what was it?
I was happy to have something, something new that was discovered that's so good for the price. I'm glad it happened. It's great.
Yeah.
It's really great. Like I went through a box. Like every night I wanted to smoke another one.
Yeah. That's just impressive. You went through a whole.
$10. I've smoked like a dozen about already of
Wow.
them. And now I got a new box. Now I'm gonna smoke another box. It's not gonna last long. And then I'll order another box, and then I'll just get another box.
Dude,
Same date on the next box too.
yeah, yeah. Dude, I think I've had four. Four of them, and I loved it, man. I loved it. I was so happy I got to smoke it with Johnny Stash.
That's a nice treat.
That was. It was like 2 in the morning, man. 2 in the morning, and then afterwards we haven't seen each other in like 4 months. Uh, yeah, 4 months, maybe. Yeah, I guess so. And then he we went to sleep. But he had two couches on his first floor, and like he's like, all right, man, you sleep on that couch. I'll sleep on this couch. I'm like, what? And like he just took his pants off. He slept with his boxes on the couch. It was like me and Zach had a sleepover like we were 12 years old again. You know what I'm saying? It's like
That guy's a classic, man. That Stash. He's really,
I,
you
but
know,
it,
he's really awesome. That guy.
nobody back upstairs, to his bedroom, and I sleep on the first floor on the couch. There's two couches. But I think this time I stayed over his house 2 nights. Both nights he crashed on the couch. He's like, all right, good night, Big D. I'll sleep over here. I
A
get that
little slumber party.
he missed Richie. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then when I woke up in the morning, it's like, hey, you want to get some bagels? You know, say, yeah. Like, like people understand how bagels is like water in New York. Like, you know what I'm saying? Though, like, it doesn't matter what background you are. I don't care if you're Chinese, if you're this or that, Jewish or Italian. If you're on Long Island, you know, and Brooklyn is part of Long Island. If you wake up in the morning, you pretty much you're getting bagels, right? Everyone's getting bagels. Bagels.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you getting bagels? Yeah, I'll get the bagels. You know what I'm saying?
I think Brooklyn is like the mecca of bagel shops. If there is one, I think Brooklyn's the place.
Brooklyn's got great bagels. I'll give you that too.
Yeah.
Long Island so does too. Different though. Long Island has a lot of bagel places that make big bagels. Do you guys make big bagels there or not?
No, not like regular size, not crazy like that.
Island's got some crazy shit, man. They got the flagels. You ever have a flagel?
Yeah, the flat bagel, of course. Yeah.
Flagels. Is it? I mean, I
I
don't know.
actually worked in a bagel store for a while.
What year was this?
Oh God, this is like 20 years ago.
Interesting. Interesting. Nobody cares though, but I mean, it's interesting.
No, people used to love it because if they wanted me to, if they wanted an egg sandwich or something, I had chef experience, cook experience, so they always wanted me to, they always wanted me to make the breakfast for them.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. So when you have an everything bagel, what is legally everything?
Onion, garlic, sesame seeds, salt, poppy seeds. I think that's it.
That's fair. That's fair. There's nothing like an
Yeah.
egg. Everything is the greatest combination.
Oh, that's the best. That's my favorite. Egg everything. Yep.
Gotta be,
That's the best.
gotta be hot. Egg.
Yep. That's the
Best.
best. Right out of the oven when they come out. Holy shit. You
Yeah.
could just eat it just like that without anything.
How your band didn't make a song about bagels? That would have been good.
Yeah. Too bad.
Too bad. I'll tell you what though, man. Like the album you guys made, the 6 songs was shocking. I'm quite shocked.
I knew
Yeah.
you'd get a kick out of it.
No,
You have a good
I don't know if I could play. Okay, is it copywritten if I played it on a live? Would I get in trouble?
I don't think so. And the songs are actually on YouTube. So they never got like booted off of YouTube or anything.
No, no.
This
I,
actual CD.
once someone has copywritten, they'll delete my live, or they'll say every commercial now, whoever owns the rights gets the money. So I have to choose. So in this case, though, I'd like to review the song. I'm just worried about they shut it down.
I mean, who even owns that music? Nobody really. I don't think you would have a problem. I mean, you know.
I would review it like one song at a time. I,
Hmm.
I mean, right off the bat, you got to talk about the stinky flinky. And I never heard of the clinky as a term for that. You know, where did the clinky come from?
I have no idea. It's
Did they
just one of them.
just rhymes with stinky?
It could be. I never asked. I never got into it about it. My friend was a nut. He wrote really fucked up songs, so I never really questioned it.
So you guys sing a song about stink. Well, in that song, did you sing the vocals at all?
I'm singing all the background vocals.
What were the background vocals? Do you remember the lines?
Like everything that's emphasized is the background vocals. Like, girl, you smell like shellfish and everybody on a Chinatown street. It's hotter than July. Something stinks on you, but it ain't your feet.
So you were like the hype man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, when we performed it live, two of the guys left the band. So me and my friend who stayed, we ended up singing that song, and we would take turns doing each part. So
I left the CD in my car, so I can't even. If I was in my car, I could have put it on the radio, and listened to it
Hmm.
and talk about it. But I mean, is what it is. Shocking.
We had like I said, we had a song called "Pussy," which was good, and we had another song called "Sharded." The same friend wrote that song about like you think you're gonna fart, but you shit your pants. It was very catchy tune.
It's understandable.
Sharded.
I
Yeah.
saw.
You can gamble and lose, and it really hurts. You thought it was gas, but it was the squirts. It's
It,
like stuff like that. Yeah.
but I'll tell you what, though, the Stinky Clinky was catchy, and I thought it was like more tongue in cheek. That last song about what was it about
The Guinea Bastard.
the hymen? The hymen. The,
Oh,
hy-
Bust That Hyman.
the hymen was some aggressive shit. Do you remember the lyrics for that? Because the hymen literally said, he said, "You're mad because I put a baby in your bitch." You literally, but he says, "Now I'm gone, and you can raise that kid." Literally, that's some hardcore shit. Like that. That's hardcore.
You know
That's.
what's fucked up about that song is
But you literally say in the song, "Your girlfriend is a dummy. I left
yeah,
my jizz on her tummy,"
yeah.
and then it says, "You got it." I couldn't believe it. Refreshing. Literally, your girlfriend's a dummy. I left that shit on her tummy. The bitch is retarded. Now you raise my kid. I mean, hardcore, hardcore. I mean,
But that song is so the guy who wrote that song, he and sings the song. Um, Him and another guy who was the old drummer of the band were really close friends for forever. That song is actually about him and his girlfriend. It's like like a fuck you song like to him. All the events in the song aren't true, but it's kind of like it's about a good friend of ours, him and his girlfriend, and he was the former drummer of the band. So it was really fucked up.
drummer was banging his girlfriend.
No, he just made an insulting song towards one of our other friends who happened to be the ex drummer of the band because they had a falling out. So like
Oh,
all the things aren't exactly true, but he's just saying it, to
oh,
fucking to piss him off.
so it wasn't even a true story, but he was singing a hypothetical song about how dumb his friend's girlfriend was.
And
Wow.
him too, yeah.
So even
Yeah.
in fantasy world, that's fucked up. It didn't even
Fucked
happen.
up.
But wow, wow.
Yeah. I mean, he once came to the studio. Like the kid was playing drums, and he came to the studio when we would just do new songs, and we start playing the song. So like, you're gonna sing the song. He starts singing a song called "Sensitive Faggot" about the guy who's playing drums on that song right now. And
So
I said, holy shit,
he would sing songs calling out people in the band, and they had to
yeah.
belong to it. That's
And he
fucked.
was playing, he was playing along to it, not realizing it's about him.
This band was something, man. It was fucked up.
Fucked up. It was a fun time though.
You couldn't play that on the radio now. I don't think so.
And then we kicked him out of the band for doing that and sang a song about it. You're out of the band about him. He got a little insulted, but he came back. It was all good.
Yeah. Wow. I, so you just keep on writing songs about each other.
Because when he did that song, the drummer was like, "Well, I'm gonna fucking not gonna come back." So
Uh,
I said, "Well, we have four singers, so we need a drummer more than you. So you're done."
wow. Wow.
It's like punk music. It's like punk, rapcore,
I got a little bit of
hard rock.
Limp Bizkit vibe.
Yeah, yeah. Supposedly, people in Russia and Japan really liked our music.
Hardcore people. Hardcore people. Um, wow. I can picture like Russian gangsters and Yakuza listening to that. Oh, sticky, sticky. Oh, sticky, clean. Yes, blood. The clinky, stinky blood. Yeah, yeah. Need to wash the clinky. Yeah, amazing. Honestly, bro, I only listened to the album once. How do you feel? Do you feel I gave a pretty good perspective view on your album?
Yeah, you picked it up really quick. I'm very impressed. Yeah, you picked it up really quick. You absorbed a lot out of it. Definitely. Well, you're a music man yourself, so you know.
Yeah. I write songs. Um, a lot of songs I wrote. Some and my songs are more sentimental. I wrote about like being a single dad and my daughter. The song's called "I'll Hold Your Hand in the Dark." It's about every time I would drive my kid home back to her mother's house, I would always hold her hand and she'd be sitting in the back. So it would just be me like kind of like crying, dropping her off because I was just sad that I might not see her for another week or two. Which is really, unless you were a single dad, you wouldn't understand that. What does it have to return your kid back to her mother? And it's a dark feeling, and you didn't want the kid to know, though. It was always about, don't worry, I'm going to see you next week or in 2 weeks. We're gonna have a great time. And then the other song I wrote about my mother dying, was sort of real dark, depressing shit. And then, but there's a lot of stuff I only wrote. I put it on Facebook. I'm gonna have to find a way to get it from Facebook to YouTube because I wrote a song called "We're Taking a Shit in the Voting Booth." And it's a fantastic song. It's a fantastic song. It says, I'm not voting for Hillary. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not really feeling the burn. I might as well take a dump. We're taking a dump in the voting booth. That's what we're gonna do. If our country's gonna shit on us, we might as well shit too. And it was a great song. It was very it even had a part la 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 la. It was really like tongue in cheek, you know, but it really makes sense about how the status of our country. I did vote for Trump, but but the song I wanted to make it marketable for everyone. Um, but yeah, it was we're taking the shit in. It was a stance. It was a political stance. But for the record, I've never taken a shit in a voting booth. That would probably be a federal crime. Don't do that. But this was freedom of speech. It was a song. You know.
I always got a kick out of you, when you would just play on YouTube, on Facebook for like 20 minutes, a half hour, play that beautiful piano, and like in the nicest way, like a giant goon like you playing such beautiful piano. It's just like
But
nobody would expect that.
yeah, Richie has feelings. Richie has a song.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I played bedtime music. I played that for years. You got to understand because I played in so many hospitals and nursing homes and veteran homes. So I learned a style of playing to just kind of ease people's pain, and I call it like bedtime music. It just I can take any song and play it like to put you to sleep. And it's sad because playing in a lot of nursing homes, like I played for people, and then like they died. Like this one woman, she brought her father in the wheelchair next to the piano, and I was playing some songs, and they asked me to play a few songs like Elvis, that his father's wedding song. And the next time she came, I saw her there because I was working there too at the nursing home, and she said, "Thank you so much for that memory." I said, "Why?" She said, "No, my father died the next day, but the last memory was you playing, beautiful piano music, and we were holding hands. And even though he had dementia, he was remembering the words to the old music from the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
it's beautiful, but it's actually very dark too. It's kind of like, at best, if you do live a long life, you'll be in a wheelchair shitting your pants, hoping some guy volunteers and plays piano for you, and nobody cares. It's really dark. It's really dark. Like, so
It's
whatever you
better
think,
than the it's better than the broad noodle showing up and playing a concert at the old age home.
yeah, I think broad noodles wouldn't really do that great in a nursing home unless they want to keep it real. They'll sing about like your catheter's full, change that shit. You know, you know, and this I mean something like that. You know, or, I don't know. But yeah, but music's music. Even though I came from a different element, but it's not that I can't play more rock stuff. But as a solo piano player, I never had a band really. I'm stuck with by myself. You know what I'm saying? Though, so it is what it is. Like piano is one of those things. It's great by itself, but I can't play rock and roll piano by myself. I need a band. I need a drummer. I need a guitar player. You know, I need a vocalist. You know, and any of the songs I wrote, I was more like acoustic Billy Joel or Bob Dylan, like singer songwriter music. You know what I'm saying? Though introspective, that kind of shit. So that's the kind of songs I'm writing.
It's hard
Um,
to write songs, man. It's hard. I always had a lot of trouble writing songs.
I like writing music. I can write music. I can write a song right now. I can sit at the piano and go, "Oh, this is how it's gonna go," like that. I can write the music, the chords, the melody, the lyrics. 10 minutes, I'll start a song. I start with one word, one idea, whatever the fuck I want to do. Or I heard somebody say a phrase at work or something. I can make a song out of that. I just, just start. And the problem is, what do I do with it though? What do I do with it? I probably have like 60 songs I wrote in my book where I hand wrote them over the years. But what do I do with it? You know what I'm saying? Then what the fuck do I do with it?
My cousins, my three cousins, all girls, they're very talented musicians, and one of them especially, she's um, a music director on Broadway, and she was when Tony Danza had his show, she was the musical director for his show. She played with she played on the Fourth of July show once with Sarah Bareilles, piano for her. So she's really talented. It's crazy.
Interesting. Interesting. Um, I had a few instances where I kind of came close to kind of breaking out with the music, but like I had to connect with this guy from a cigar lounge that he booked like he was a DJ, but he also booked really big parties. And through the cigar lounge, we were talking about how to play piano, and so he booked me as the piano player. But I mean, it's a swanky like kind of like restaurant and like wedding hall right next to the UN building, right there on the water. You get the name of it. It looks like a boat. It's right next to the UN building. You know what I'm talking about? It's like right on the
Oh, on the
um,
Manhattan side?
you can see the UN building right from there. It's just
It's
south
like I think it's the Water Club is over there, like right off the FDR.
water club. Nice. The water club. Yeah, I think it is. It's on the water. And so they booked me, gave me $500 for the hour. It was a nice gig. But
Right.
then, yeah, whatever. It was a nice party. Everyone had a great time, a lot of tips and everything. And it was what it was, though. It just, nothing came of it. Died on the vine. I mean, I played a lot of local places in Long Island, bars, restaurants. I've done some weddings. I've done too many funerals, which is really sad. People ask, if you could. The last funeral I did was for my friend who committed suicide. And that was some sad shit. And I didn't make a
Yeah.
dime. I didn't expect it. It was my friend. And the mother asked me, because he used to be the drummer. When I was in high school, he was a drummer in the band, and he actually went on to go to Las Vegas and play drums for Carlos Santana and play like the percussion for Carlos Santana in Vegas. He was amazing in percussion, but and a great drummer. But he just kept on doing drugs, and he burnt every bridge. And every time I
Yeah.
saw him back in New York, because he would bounce from state to state, because he always had warrants, nothing for like crazy felonies, but like stealing or drinking and driving, or getting arrested with narcotics on him, but not selling. He was just like a degenerate.
Does the Purple
And
Goat really just listen to Stinky Clinky, or is he fucking around?
it, I wouldn't hang out with him no more because he was just doing too much drugs. And when I had him in my car, he'd go, stop somewhere real quick, and he would go on him real quick, and then he'd come back all fucked up. I'm like, did you just do drugs? No, no. And I'm like, bro, I can't hang out with you because like I don't do that. And if somebody does that, I'm not gonna judge them. But at the same time, if you're in my vehicle, you're not doing that shit around me because I'm not getting pulled over because now I didn't know he was doing that. So I took him home and I was like, nah, I can't hang out with you no more. If this is what you want to do, we can't do that. And then he ended up putting his mother's head through a sheetrock wall because she wouldn't give him any more money for drugs. And,
Jesus Christ.
and then the cops chased him to the woods, and he hid in the woods for 2 days. I got to give him that. He hid from the dogs and everything. And then he got arrested eventually. And then the mother dropped the charges. And then one day he went to Manhattan, to the Flower District, got arrested. Got arrested for a psych, right? For a psych hold because he had a Moses stick, like parting the waters, and he was walking around Manhattan having like these visions because he was so high. But the kid, I think he did cross over and see like the other dimension, and the cops arrested him. They brought him to Bellevue. Somehow they released him in 20 minutes, though. Psych hold's supposed to be released, I think, 24 or 72 hours. They released him in
Wow.
20. Somehow, technicality. He leaves. Somehow he gets now at 6 in the morning. He gets to a 17-story construction site. Manhattan. How do you get onto a construction site wearing shorts and a t-shirt and sneakers? What do you have to wear in a construction site? Boots, jeans, hard hat, vest, probably safety glasses, and generally you got to be one of the guys. How did he get up on the lift? It was a active construction, with a netting and everything, and somehow he got up there. And the story was, oh, he was taking pictures. Then he took down the netting and jumped off and landed on the flower district onto a florist shop. That's bullshit. Somebody threw him the fuck off of that because how the hell did he get onto an active? And here's the thing: his phone was wiped clean, but his phone was in his pocket, so it wasn't damaged. The mother was paying for the phone bill, so she was able to get the messages. His last text message was to somebody in the city, and he said, "Do you got the white?" So I believe he went to the job site to go purchase the shit, right? And from somebody there who sells, right? Somehow he probably didn't have the money, and also he was out of his mind on drugs. He went off the fucking 17th floor because that safety net he's
Wow.
down. You know what I'm saying though,
Oh yeah, yeah. I work on a lot of construction sites like that. Absolutely.
right? And here's the catch: the when the mother went to identify the body, there was an NYPD hat on the body, like it was covered in blood, whatever. And they said, oh, he was wearing that hat. And the mother said, my son's been arrested, let's say like 20 times. He would never wear it. He never even would buy that. So how did that happen? Right? How the hell would he get an NYPD hat and go off the building? Also, why was his phone wiped clean? When he got the mother got the phone back from the body, there was not one phone call and not one text message. It was wiped clean. But she was because she paid the bills. She was able to get access. The whole story stinks. But at the end of the day, when a junkie gets thrown off a building, nobody cares. Isn't that sad?
Nobody cares. Yeah,
No,
it's true.
nobody. Now she obviously has a lawyer and everything. The psych ward fucked up. You don't release somebody in 20 minutes. It's what they call a medical observation. You got to be there for like 72 hours,
That's 20 minutes. That's like what the fuck.
right? And here's the thing too. He got arrested because he was at like a Walgreens, and then because he had the Moses stick and he was acting crazy, making prophecies and everything. But then the mother said, "Where's the stick?" Because he got arrested with the stick. So what did the cops do with the Moses stick? You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole story like makes me wonder, what if what if the cops just fucking threw him off there? What if like let's get rid of this motherfucker? I wouldn't put honestly. What if he never went to Bellevue? What if Oh yeah, they brought him there 20 minutes. Dude, the whole thing stinks.
Yeah, you'll never know.
So I played at that funeral. It was terrible. It was open casket, but he landed on his feet. So his face really was. You could tell his face was fucked up, but his legs. When you land 17 stories on the concrete, his legs, and he was still alive when he fell. I mean, it's fucked.
Wow. Holy
And
shit.
that's just me advertising. Don't do drugs, because dude, that guy was like my best friend growing up. I knew him since we were like 5 years old. Like we goes back to the '80s. I remember we watched at his mother's house. We were kids. They had HBO or something, and we watched Kickboxer or Kick. What's that movie? Kickbox. With what's his name?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh my, you know. And my mother never found out. We were 5, 6 years old. You're not supposed to watch Kickboxer. My God, we couldn't believe it. It was just like wow. His mother was like one of the cool parents. But
Yeah.
The mother was never strict with him. And honestly, it doesn't always work out that way. But if your kid's gonna start involved in that bullshit, you know, it's sad. But literally nobody cares. Nobody.
Yeah. A lot of these guys, they can't be saved no matter what you do. They can't be
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But as far as the system, though, if he got arrested for what's called a EDP, emotionally disturbed person, that's the legal term. You don't release him from 20 minutes. And if you looked at from Bellevue Hospital to where is the Flower District? Where's the Flower District? I forget the street. Uh, you know where the Flower District starts?
no.
Yeah. But the last thing he told his mother too, though, he called his mother from the city before this happened, and he says, "I'm okay, mom." She's like, "Who?" And he said, "The people." So, and then the hotel that he was thrown off of, which was under construction, I looked at the pictures of the hotel, and there was some weird like occult symbolism. I don't want to go too deep. I'll have to show you the pictures, privately. That's the conspiracy side of Richie. But do people? And the night that happened, it was like it was a lunar eclipse that night. So occult people in like and cults and everything, they sacrifice people on lunar eclipses. I can't stress it enough. I can't stress if you know anything about the occult, full moons, lunar eclipses, a change of seasons when they have like spring and winter and fall, when they have a change of seasons, the equinoxes. Oh, trust me, they sacrifice people. This has been going on since the beginning of time.
That's for
So
thousands and thousands of years. Yeah.
so who knows? Maybe the people they kill people that nobody cares about because who's gonna care?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Fucking nuts, right? And here's the thing. The story was the construction workers said this crazy guy was up there taking pictures from the 17th floor of Manhattan as the sun was coming up, right? There was not one picture of the cell phone. But the cell phone wasn't broken. And the cell phone was in his pocket. So what did he do? Take pictures of the sunrise, delete them, put it in his pocket, and then take the netting down and jump. Plus, the way the building was and where the body, here's the building, here's the body. They said there's no way someone could jump at where the body, he had to be thrown, chuck the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Because he was far,
Wow.
unless you're going to run 100 feet and, build up that kind of, like, that's pretty. Most time people jump, they go to the edge and, what I'm saying? You're not doing a long jump, unless you're the ballsiest
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think that really happens. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. You never seen a movie where a guy runs 100 yards and then jumps off the roof. Like right? I had never, who could do that? You know?
No.
Ah. Anyways, we're going off into a dark topic here, but
Well, listen, I got to run. It's getting late over here on the East Coast.
yeah, go,
And
go, and don't do drugs.
no drugs for me. No, no, no. I barely even drink anymore. So,
Well, you stay fresh. I'm going to try to get PG on because nobody cares about PG either.
all right. We'll talk soon.
Hey, man, you take care of yourself. Appreciate the CD, man. Stinky Clinky for life.
All right. I'm glad you got a kick out of it. Good
Your
night,
friend.
everybody.
Have a good one,
All right,
man.
man.
Peace. It is what it is. Nobody cares. It's a crazy life. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Insult me, PG. You're going to insult Richie. Don't insult me again. Don't insult me. Wow. The aromatics on this is very strong. It's a very strong, heavy cigar. Simplicity. Lots of earth, lots of black pepper, extremely dark espresso note. If that's the kind of party, just a little bit of chocolate sweet, a very little chocolate. It's a dark, heavy, strong cigar. If that's your cup of tea, I'd give the cigar, I'd say probably a 3.9. I think it's a solid, like, beginner mid-tier cigar where you know exactly what to get. It's going to be reliable. It's going to be strong. It's not going to be expensive. And if you want that kind of party of just heavy Nicaraguan tobacco, then you're going to like that. PG, you offended me, PG. PG. PG, you have offended me, PG. PG, you have offended Richie. PG, Richie is offended. I am very offended. And nobody cares. Fuck PG. That's it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Oh, 1 minute now? Oh, I gotta wait for you? I gotta wait for you. Richie's on standby? Your Uber driver? What am I, a punk? Is there nothing in my pocket? Am I your bitch? What do I got, a stinky clinky? What do I got, a stinky clinky? Huh? Huh? It's a bold cigar. When it comes to AJ, when it comes to his classic blends, just straight AJ across the board. For generally, now you get to the Dorado, it starts becoming a higher tier. It's a different kind of party. But his San Latanos and you know New Worlds, they're generally going to be bold, strong, and simple. And if that's something you look, and they're generally very well priced, so I can recommend them if that's going to be your cup of tea. If you're not looking for like complexity, if you're not looking for like beauty, unless if you find bold, strong, simple cigars, if you find that beautiful and a good price, then yes, you got to understand the message. You got to understand the message. And once again, timing. The reason why I chose this because I'm reviewing this cigar, but I smoked a little cigar Don Carlos early in the afternoon. Um, so I knew my palate wasn't going to be completely pure. My palate wasn't going to be clean. I didn't want to smoke another cigar that wasn't that bold or that strong or that simple because then it would affect my interpretation. So if you're going to smoke two cigars, make sure your second cigar is much stronger than the first cigar, unless if you're smoking the same cigar. If you smoke two of the same cigars back to back, that's fine. That's totally fine. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, rich, heavy, strong, bold, simple cigar. Good construction. It is what it is. Um, it is what it is. Stout. He said, well, if you want to look up Anthony P's band from the early 2000s, the name of the band, what was it called? Broad Noodles? I think it was Broad Noodles. Just go on YouTube and type in Stinky Clinky. Stinky. Clinky. Klinky. The Stinky Clinky. Now, that would be a good name for a bar, I guess. Or I guess a gentleman's club. Stinky Clinky. Where are we going tonight, sir? Taxi. Take me to the Clinky. The fresh Clinky or the stinky Clinky? No, I didn't bring that much money, so let's go to the stinky claim. We had a lot of fucking lurkers tonight. Nobody cares. Nobody. A lot of lurkers. Lurkers. What are you doing? Lurkers, where are you? Who the hell is still here tonight? Anybody? I sent you the fucking link. Do not lie to me. You son of a bitch. I sent it to you. Now you're pissing me off. You're pissing off Richie. The Richie. Ah, Richie. Richie. Hey, Jeremy. Miss you, brother. Joshua. Joshua Jackaway. Fantastic selection. What a fantastic selection. Tomorrow night I'm going to be smoking the Julius Caesar. I took it out and let it dry out. Good night. I'm letting that one get ready for tomorrow. But tonight I chose the bold, simple cigar of the AJ Fernandez Puro. A strong, simple cigar. It is bold, and I think it's a good ballsy cigar if that's what you're looking for. And these are very reasonable priced. And I smoked a cigar before this, so my palate. But I knew this one was strong enough to bulldoze over the first cigar. But really appreciate it. Honestly, guys have been very generous. I really appreciate it, Joshua. That was fantastic. Really, I was surprised. Well, it was a massive. That was a massive. My humidor between the two guys that sent cigars this week. I mean, crazy. Steve and Joshua. My God, very generous. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. My humidor could barely close. I mean, impressive. I mean, the Richie and me is the Richie and you. Really impressive. I don't know where PG is. PG is pissing me off right now. PG, are you leaving me hanging, PG? Where are you, PG? PG. PG, what the fuck? Am I going to move on to the next guy? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Is what it is. All right, PG. PG is pissing me off, man. Where is this guy? I'm going to go to the next guy. PG. It's an honor to be here with Rich. This should be the highlight of your day. What's up, bro? We're getting a bad connection. Are you okay? We're getting a bad connection. Connection's not good. Where's the connection? Are you okay? PG, what the fuck is this? And yes, he's gone. And just like that, PG has died. PG's alive again. Are you there? PG. Now it is.
Okay, cool. Okay, hey.
What?
Sorry about that. My phone is really struggling.
Your phone's got AIDS.
I guess.
Um, how's
It's
your
it's an iPhone. It came with AIDS.
how's your balls?
Fresh.
Good. It's gonna be fresh. What?
Worked out.
What?
Showered. What have I been up to? Again.
Breaking up again. Are you under Wi-Fi? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? PG, we can't have this. What's going on, PG?
All right, how about now?
It's better. You want some pizza?
No.
Dude,
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, but okay, okay, all right. So what did you think about my review of his album?
I like the Stinky Clinky, and I thought Stinky Clinky was quite good.
Oh, you listened to it on YouTube?
Um, yep. And I mean, it gives me the same feeling like the first time I heard Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine, you know. It gives me that same. There's a lot of anger behind it, and it's something we've talked about previously, where uh, I think that you become, you need to.
Yeah.
Soul to it.
Obviously, they weren't trying to be mainstream, so
Right.
they're not going to make money like a big band on the radio, but
Right.
they're totally free. And to me, that's a choice in life. And most people make a compromise as they get older. When you're young, you want to be free. I don't want to be a sellout. But as you grow up, you're like, you're stuck in this machine. And if you can't beat them, join them. It doesn't mean you, most people don't agree what they do in life, but they do what they got to do for their families. Once you have children, you're not free no more, anyways. So what's the difference? You know what I'm saying, though? Uh,
Yeah.
because kids are going to need to get fed, they're going to need diapers. They're gonna need to go to college. It is what it is. So when you're young, hey, sing about Stinky Clinky. You know what I'm saying though? I mean, that must have been so ballsy. Imagine the band coming out. Hey, what's up, Brooklyn? All right, maybe you heard this before. One, two, three, four, Stinky Clinky. Just
It's not even like that though, because they're just coming out and they're just screaming at them too.
dude,
It's not even like there's nothing about it that's nice.
dude. I would say it's very aggressive music.
Very aggressive.
It's
But I mean, you look at, you know, a lot of rap music, like a lot of the best underground rap music, if you really listen to the lyrics, like there's some horrifying material. Like a lot of the, and I don't mean to expose anybody, but they're putting it on, so it's not my, not my business. But a lot of what they talk about is the way that they're putting women into prostitution situations, and like that's a major topic of a lot of the. I don't know if it's hyphy, but it's the thing that's followed from hyphy. But all this stuff from Sacramento and the Bay Area, all
well,
that music right now.
about a song that, and I would consider 50 Cent a serious rapper, but he really didn't go like hardcore. But at the same time, because he had a lot of songs that were popular, like his song PIMP.
Hmm.
That self-reflective song. At the same time, he said a bitch can't get a dollar out of me. I'm a motherfucking PIMP. Saying I don't know what you heard about me. Bitches can't get a dollar out of me. He says you're taking her out for French food. I'm giving her fast food. She's giving just nuggets. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
but I think I don't know if he talks about putting them on the street. I think he does in a way, but not necessarily. It's not like he was saying he was a literal pimp. He was more like
Right.
pimp lifestyle. But there are rap songs where they're like, "Bitch, you that money?"
Well, I think I was actually listening to Snoop Dogg recently, and he has an album, "Paid the Cost to Be the Boss," and
That
we're
was a,
really far.
that was a
Go ahead.
hard.
Yeah, that's a hardcore album, and what's interesting, I mean, 2 things. First thing, when I heard PIMP when I was a kid, it was very disturbing to me because, I mean, I grew up listening to Nas, and if you like somebody like Nas, like, he says dark things, but he's not saying them necessarily from a bad perspective. It's very much a description of what he sees. Whereas I found PIMP to be very basically misogynistic, which was alarming to me as a child.
Hmm.
Um, which was funny because Nas wasn't alarming, you know what I mean? But it was the
Well, I think 50 Cent kind of he definitely glorifies the street life.
right,
Although with songs like Many Men, he does talk about the horrors of the street. A lot of people are trying to kill him. So it's not like he said, "Hey, this is a great life." You know what I'm saying? If you look at, once you get off the street and they got money, he doesn't want to be back on the street because as tough as 50 Cent is, he got shot 9 times. So it's not like he wants to go back, hang on the corner without a bodyguard. You got,
right.
$1 million. You
He,
know,
he doesn't he doesn't want another nine.
no, no, bro.
Yeah.
And,
Um, yeah.
and don't get it twisted. Just because he survived 9 shots, and he's talked about, he's fucked up from that. You don't get shot 9 times, and
Sure.
you're gonna have a lot of pain. You're gonna have a lot of arthritis. Like you're gonna, what I'm saying. And I don't know what kind of
Sure.
alcohol that guy was using, but clearly it wasn't effective, or he was.
Mm,
'Cause even if you're getting shot in non-vital areas, which every part of your body is really vital, but you know what I'm saying? Though, if anything, it's a testament. He got shot 9 times with a 9 millimeter. It wasn't a 45 or a 44 Magnum, which I think would have. You're not surviving 9 45s.
right.
That would have been the end of 50 Cent.
I mean, it's a good ad for 45. It's a good ad for using 45. You know what I mean?
Well, just do the math. For the most part, 9 millimeters loaded with 115 grain, and
Mhm,
45s loaded with 230 grain, twice the weight. So if he was shot 9 times with 45, would have been twice the amount of lead going through
mm,
his, which is going to cause a lot more damage. People forget about weight. When something hits you, the bigger it is, the more it's going to do damage. I can't stress it enough. I just
mhm.
can't stress it enough.
So what I was saying about the song PIMP, I think Snoop Dogg might have been on that.
Mhm.
Snoop Dogg in the album Paid the Cost to Be the Boss has a song, I forget the song name, but there's one which has Don Magic Juan, who's a famous pimp. And it's a little bit more direct to pimping. But anyway, I digress. I think, and I found Many Men less upsetting than PIMP because again, it was more of a description of what he had experienced, which is valid. If you experience something and you want to talk about it, that's one thing. But excuse me, to push an agenda, I think is a little more alarming. Anyway, I digress. My
Well,
point is, yeah.
I would say the vibe of PMP is more like a fun song, but I'm gonna tell you,
Hmm.
there's nothing fun about the streets because
Hmm.
and that doesn't matter because the streets is for meaning the streets is not one particular background or one. I mean, there's people on the streets of whether it's Italians, Russian, or Chinese. I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, and I mean, there's prostitutes of every race and background, and
Hmm.
it's not a glorious life. It's a terrible thing, and very few people are doing it. Some are doing it just because it's the job they chose, but there's also a lot of people that they are being controlled by other people. You know what I'm saying? No, let's look at China. There are people that get smuggled here from China, and they put them in these whorehouses, and they can't quit. You know what I'm saying? Though, like they get
Hmm.
dropped off by some guy in a Toyota minivan. Okay, and it is what it is. And like you know, it's a terrible thing. But
Yeah.
some people say, well, at least they're having a better life than they were in China, and maybe that's true because they have food, they have shelter. But
I think
you,
that's a pretty thin argument. I think that's a thin argument.
I'm not arguing. What I'm
No,
trying to
no, no, not you. I'm just saying I wouldn't want to be the one on that side of the argument trying to defend
at
that
this
side.
society doesn't care because if society did care, and that's how the politician and the cops are all part of it. If society cared, they would shut down every massage parlor in America because whether some are legit, well, none of them are legit, but whether some are just really massaging your feet, or the other places are not, um,
Mm,
they know what's going on, but they only act when they get a bunch of complaints and they're like, okay, well. And then they arrest the one person running it, and they give him a ticket for operating a massage parlor without a license. That's it.
Mm.
And then the show goes on. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, these illegal establishments, which they are, they're kicking back to the police and they're kicking back to politicians. They have to be. I can't stress it enough because you're going to pay the price no matter what. So if you don't pay, whether legally and get a permit or illegally pay money to the table, you don't get away with it. You're not going to operate a legal business and not pay someone off. If you don't, you're actually going to get arrested. You know what I'm saying? So
Can't
that,
speak to that.
you know,
But I will say that's terrible. Yeah.
well, dude. Okay, I'm from Long Island. Literally, like once a month, you hear in Long Island, and I still read the New York papers. Okay, massage parlor shut down for prostitution. Okay, this one. And if you go down the street, every like mile, there might be one or two of them. I just read one that they shut down that was in an office where they had like doctor offices, and they just opened up a shop because they advertised on the internet, and they just had a little door, and there was no, didn't even say massage, but they were getting a bunch of complaints because guys were going in and out for like 30 minutes, and they're like, "What's going on over here?" Saying, and sure enough, they're like, "Yeah, it's prostitution." So that begs the question: it's not going to
Sure.
stop prostitution, and whether it's an avenue of people that want to do it or an avenue of people that don't want to do it, but that's so either way. I don't have a solution for it because if you say, well, just legalize it, I think as a society, it's bad for society. At the same time, because even if you legalize it, you're still going to have the illegal one. Why? Because the legalized one is going to have a lot of control and a lot of taxes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, that's true. But you could come down harder on
Of course, but
illegal if you have legal.
they're getting paid off. I just
Yeah.
can't. They're getting paid off. The cops know what they're doing. You think every corner someone needs a foot massage?
I mean, people hate walking. Okay, so what all I wanted to say about the thing was, I find that in rap there's like three pillars um, of rap. Are you there? No, there's three pillars of sort of rap crime. One is pimping, one is drug dealing, and one is just general gang banging and maybe
Why?
violent gang banging. Yeah. Um, and what's interesting is a lot of rappers will sort of get in a lane, I mean, be like a pimp rapper or they'll be like a violence rapper, um, which I have no problem with from an artistic point of view. I think that's fair. Um, but what I mean to say is, if you are making fringe music, that's part of what makes it cool. And is prostitution a horrible crime? You know what I mean? Forcing a woman into prostitution a horrible crime? Yeah, absolutely, 100%, as we reviewed. Um, but can you make music about it as a legitimate art? I think so. So, can you make art about stinky clinky if you're just screaming into the microphone for your own purposes? Why not?
Yeah,
So that's my review of Anthony P's Stinky Clinky, and I think it's good.
yeah, right. No, it's but and on that topic, like you said, it's not. There's a lot of, and it might be more. I don't know the numbers on it, but there's a lot of people that they get out of high school or college and they can go to work and make 20, $25 an hour, or they can go make $1,000 a night at a hotel. There's a lot of people that are literally, dude, look at OnlyFans. There's a lot of women that are not forced into it that are like, listen, uh, I'm making 20 grand a week, and they like, and not, I don't want to say the word they like it, but they clearly this is their profession they chose. There are plenty of people that it's a profession. Um,
Yeah,
the
sure.
issue I think everyone agrees with. No one. Well, how do you separate from people that want to be there and people that don't want to be there? That's the issue.
Right. And in
You
a capitalist society, at what point are you just out of options and have to do it anyway? So I think it's a hard line to draw. And I think if I were to try to fix it, I think you would try to fix it through legislation and not necessarily a moral argument. You know what I mean? Because how do you divide, like you said, how do you divide that? I don't think you necessarily can,
well,
but you can start to work against it.
shut it down. I'll tell you how. You literally every massage parlor, every hotel, every motel, you have somebody outside of it with the camera, and you take a picture. And that guy doesn't want his wife finding out. Now you might say that's blackmail, but then he's not. If every place is doing that, you don't have to shut down the hose. You just go out in the parking lot, and the men aren't going to want the men on the client side. They're doing what they got to do to get by, right? Whatever. Maybe they don't like their wife or whatever, and then once a week they go get laid. Obviously, even let's talk about with legitimate women that are just doing it as a profession. Well, that shit will dry up real quick if the shameful part of getting caught, because they don't want to lose their marriage over it, right? They don't want to lose their job or be in the papers over it, right? The shame. So all you'd have to do is even have not even the cops and people that volunteer and shame people like, oh, we know what you're doing, and trust me, they won't show up anymore, or it would slow down a lot. But then would the police then stop those people saying, "Oh, stop harassing customers of the hotel"? But the hotels are in on it too. They're not stupid. You know what I'm saying, though? Well, if a hotel has a 21-year-old girl check in for a week, why is she in a hotel for a week with two of her girlfriends? What are they doing? What are you, stupid? And they know with security, well, why does this hotel room have 20 visitors a day? Like everyone's playing stupid. They know what it's about. You know what I'm saying, though? And it's big business for the hotels. It's big.
I've But I mean, at the other hand, you do. I have dealt with, not, I shouldn't say dealt with, but I've had, let's say, I've had friends who will hole up in a hotel room. You know, what I mean, friends who have money, who are very popular. They want to go somewhere, they want to hang out. They'll find a fancy hotel, they'll hole up in a hotel room, and they have tons of people coming in now because they're popular. So that's also quite normal.
I get what you're trying to say with that, but like,
Look, I don't know. I
I
haven't
think, I,
worked.
for example, they turn a blind eye. If the front of the hotel,
Yeah,
if they had made a little line when you came in, you had to go to the concierge. Oh, where you going? What room? Who you here to see? And then if room 312 was had 40 visitors that day, they know something's up. But here's the thing: the hotels don't want to admit it because they don't want to.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's
But
a it's all under the radar. Everyone's playing stupid. Everyone's playing
I
stupid. Everyone's making
the
money.
the problem is you have people. One sec, sorry. You have people who are, let's say, legitimate, or they're of their own accord, their own desire to be there at some level, their own choice. And then you have people who aren't. And the people who aren't, that needs to urgently be stopped. But
But they
people
have
who
that though, because then how do you separate from girls that
that
just want to make money
that
off the body versus girls that they thought they were coming to town to be a model and they're like, well, we don't have modeling jobs, but you can make way more doing this. But we're gonna hold the money for you, and dude, you get what I'm trying to say, man. Like, um, the only way I think you could is quarantine it is to shame the customer because the customer's bringing the money. Okay. And if the customers don't bring the money, the girls aren't going to have Johns and they're not going to be able to do it.
you can't do it, because anything like that is such a violation of privacy that if it set a precedent at all, as pro AI as I am, and I'm quite pro AI, you get like into a 1984 situation. Now, I don't know. I don't think I ever read that
And so that's what I'm
book
saying.
actually,
Or is it
but
just your hands up and just say, hey, it is what it is? I mean, dude, I
I,
mean,
I mean, if I actually had to solve it, the brief version of that would be I would legalize it and regulate it because I'm a capitalist. And then through that, I would both have people regulating and looking into the industry, as well as cracking down on illegal industry, which is both harming our legal industry and stealing from us, right? And also putting people in dangerous positions,
right. Yeah,
which
yeah,
it's not a it's not a moral it's not really a moral standpoint, and I could see how there could be moral concerns about that. The problem is, I think you have to go with a separation of church and state. When I say that generally, I mean, like, you can't just believe in the moral solution, but the overall utility solution for the most people.
well, clearly
But
society role is not a moral society because whether it's
mhm,
girls doing it when they want to or not want to, the supply is there. And for the girls that are doing it and they want to, look, they're getting compensated. So, but obviously nobody here would want their daughter or son in that kind of business. Okay, so it's a dark world. Even people doing it legally, right? Nobody who has a daughter who's 20 years old would say, "Oh, I decided to become a legal prostitute." No father.
Mm,
Okay, so it's you know at the same time, this has been going on since the beginning of time. You
right.
know, and it is what it is. But you got to say though, right? Let's go deeper. I guarantee you, a lot of people that are using these services are married. But then you would say, well, why do they need that? They have a wife at home. Bingo. They have a wife at home that they're not getting any sex from or sex that they want. So it's in a way, does prostitution help keep marriages together? I think so, yes. Because instead of divorcing your wife, you're like, well, once a month they go whatever, and it's cheaper to keep her because they don't want to get divorced and they don't want to lose their kids. And then so it's a deeper than just For example,
I
if you
think. Yeah.
have a home and she's you know you're both having a great sex life, why would you go out and pay for it? You know what I'm saying though? But
Mhm.
that's happening. Most guys that are married or in relationships are not having a great sex life. And I'm not going to blame anyone because maybe the guy's not being romantic to his wife and she's cold to him. But it goes both ways though. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know what I'm saying though? If we did a private thing where we talked to 100 married men and asked them really how good their sex life is, I guarantee most guys are going to say, what sex life? Because once you get married, it becomes like a ball and chain. She doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. And now what? You got to give up on sex? And so then there's that market that says, well, no, you don't have to give up on it. You just got to pay for it. And I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. Well,
You could have a moral argument.
you don't
Good.
see the opposite. How come you don't see tons of male prostitutes and women paying for sex? And it's not because women are so virtuous, because a woman can walk up to any guy at the bar and take him home. Say, hey, you want? If a girl goes to a bar, a woman says, they flirt with a couple of guys. Hey, you want to go back to my place? Some guy will go back and bang her for free. But generally speaking, for men, unless if you're very wealthy or of clout, people aren't just going to want to fuck you. So then men have to pay for it. So it's a duality of reality that women don't have the same sexual experience. Men want sex, but women won't just give it up unless you're rich or you're some kind of powerful man. So they have prostitutes. Women don't go, oh, you're a dog. But at the same time, any girl could go to a nightclub and 100 guys would want to take her home, right? So it is what it is. It's. Do you understand what I'm trying to say with
I,
that?
I, I'd like to respond to that and just say, again, I would look at it from a legislative angle and just trying to maximize the utility in economic situation for citizens. And the moral argument, I mean, is specific. It could be different in different areas, different to different subcultures. And yeah, I'd like to I'd like to look at some of these comments. Um, I really appreciate that Joshua Jackaway both bullied legitimate gangsters, legitimate gang bangers who may be doing tremendous violence and incredible criminal feats, which would have your heart racing. And he says, "That's not enough. Have some balls, rob a bank. Very good." He also says he also later on makes a joke about marital rape. So, uh, I mean, he's
Oh,
three for three
no,
tonight, right?
I don't know if I saw it that way. What he's saying is, if I was married, my wife needs. If you have a wife, he wants to make love to her. He wants to be with her. You know what I'm saying, though?
I see. I see.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
He's just saying he's smooth like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
what he's saying is, if you're with a woman, you know, okay. At the end of the day,
I
listen. At the end of the day, why is a man and a woman together if it's not to have sex? Everything else is secondary.
uh
For example,
partnership.
no, bullshit,
Partnership would probably be primary.
bullshit, bullshit,
I
bullshit.
will
Oh,
never agree with you on that. Continue.
well, I mean, I've lived with a lot of women, man, and it always starts off with, "I like the way she looks. I'd like to get to know her. and I'd like to take her to my bedroom. That's human anatomy 101. Everything else is bonus.
Bro,
It's
bro,
bonus.
do you realize? I like the way she looks. I want to take her to my bedroom. If you earlier on filtered for partnership, then you would maybe see your results differently as well. You see what I mean? Your system is it's a circular argument.
System though. Who are these people you talking to, bro? That go to a nightclub or they go to on a dating website looking for partnership. What are you trying to do? Make a corporation? You dude.
Yeah.
Trying to get some ass. It's not business. You're trying to get some ass.
No.
You're trying to get some ass.
Why? For pleasure that is fleeting.
Oh, that's
So
one.
and then you can
That's
spend 40 years fighting about
I,
nonsense because you don't.
I respect your opinion, but I would say your opinion is not of the majority at all. At all. Men and women are generally designed to be attracted to each other. The difference is, generally, women have the power over the sex. That's the way it generally works. Unless,
What do you think about Joshua's comment? I like Joshua's comment. What do you think about that?
what do you say?
He says you need to make the women come. Bottom line.
You know what I'm saying, though? Now, yes,
Yeah.
if you before you date a girl or when you're starting to know her, like if she has a terrible credit score, or if she's like had like 10 kids with 10 different guys, these might be red flags of she's making poor decisions. So yeah, you could say this might be a bad partner to have, but there are guys that will still bang her though, you know. So but generally speaking, the physical attraction comes first because that's natural. And then
Sure.
you know what I'm saying though, then you get to know her more. Um, The problem, I believe, with relationships now and why there's not even really any marriage anymore, there's no social stigma to once you're with someone to you could break up or get divorced and there's no social stigma behind that. So you can get divorced 10 times. So then at the same time now men aren't even getting married no more because they're like, I don't want to get divorced, lose my kids and have child support. You know, and so it's a vicious circle. I just heard that David's Bridal is going out of business. Why? Ain't nobody getting fucking married because nobody wants men don't want to get divorced anymore. I mean, dead serious.
Also maybe that name.
What? But you understand what I'm trying to say, man.
Sure. Yeah.
It's and so now this is why the flip side. You see a lot of attractive women going into their 30s and 40s saying, "Where have all the good men gone?" Uh, where when I was growing up, if a woman was in her 30s and 40s, she was married and she had 2 or 3 kids at home. Now the majority you have, you know, independent women that don't need a man. That's great. And I'm glad you have a job and everything. That's great. But you're missing out on the family experience. So now you're going to be a cat lady and die alone. And you could be an attractive woman, but all the regular guys, the Tom the electrician and John the plumber and Bob the cop and Johnny the mechanic, he's not good enough for me. So when they were younger, they get plowed by rich guys or guys that think they, but the rich guy doesn't need you. He has options. You know what I'm saying? Though? But then as the women get older, they don't have the options. And the regular guys either settle down with regular girls or they're going to stay single and say, I don't need this shit in my life. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango, man. And
I,
where we're at right now, society's off. And it's going to be, we're off as a whole. Fatherless children is a terrible thing. Children going out without a father. And so without a father and with kids, you don't have a family. I'm not saying some very strong, independent woman couldn't raise kids and have a good life. It's possible, but it's not the norm. Okay, here's the difference. When a woman has children and has no kid, no father in the life, she has to now play both roles and be masculine, right? She has to be the disciplinarian as well. But if a man uh, has a, has a child and the wife takes off or husband, the girlfriend takes off and he raises the kid, the man doesn't have to stop becoming feminine because masculinity deals with reality. Okay, I just can't stress it enough. You know.
my mother's mom died when she was young, and her dad, I don't think became feminine. In fact, I can say pretty strongly he didn't, and
Right.
I think it affected how she person. I think if he had found a softer side to himself, it could have been beneficial. Not to critique the man because he's a hero of mine, but um, I don't know. I don't think
Well,
you can make a
I'm
one-way argument.
a woman. I believe both men and women have their roles, and what I'm saying,
Hmm.
people aren't acting their roles anymore. You want to be both man and a woman. If a woman wants to be a boss bitch, what guy wants to stay with a boss bitch? Doesn't mean she can't have a good job and a good career. That's fine. But you get what I'm saying though? Like,
What
trust me.
what's wrong with a boss bitch?
Have you been married to a boss bitch? Let me know. You go marry
No.
a boss bitch who bosses you around, belittles you. Dude, it's not okay. It's not natural.
That's somebody who's bossy. That's a bossy person. That's not a
Guys,
strong woman.
that shit wears off real quick. Guys don't want to put up with that shit. That nobody, dude,
Okay.
do you play cards? Kings over queens, man. If king does, it's just natural. A queen over a king is a submissive man. He's a bitch. A man leading is natural. And it's not that he's saying, "Oh, you're a woman, so get beneath me." But at the same time, if shit goes down, or if society, if a woman's walking with a man down the street, she's more likely protected, right? You don't hear a lot of women getting attacked if they're with their husband. But if a woman's walking down the street by herself, she's vulnerable. Why? Because it's a scary world. Okay, so it's a man in a relationship. He has his role, and a woman has her role, and combined is to me that's where the perfection is. The woman brings the beauty and the grace to a relationship if she's acting beautifully and graceful, and the man brings the pillar. He brings the strength. He brings the walls. He brings the foundation, he brings the roof. And inside, the woman makes the house a home. And together, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying, though?
Well, not all cultures have been like that through time. There have been other systems.
What's this, what society that was run by a woman has worked? Every major society, whether it was a kingdom or a feudal state or what, it was all run by men. Men have built the world, period. All the roads, all the sewers, all the power, all the technology, all the weapons. Everything's been built by men. Women building bow and arrows and muskets and cannons and nuclear bombs. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. They're fighting as a whole. As a whole. Come on. Come on. Come
I don't have a counterexample to that.
on. A
However,
female sailor gets pregnant on a ship. They have to fly her out with a helicopter, and it costs the Navy $1 million. And now they have one man has to do her job too now. The men don't get pregnant. Well, maybe now. You know what I'm saying? No, but you get what I'm saying, though, bro. Like each one has their role. And now we're
actually get pregnant. Do you think he's? Do you think
I,
like if he really wanted to? And I think he really wants.
I want to say this. I think you and Gio. I'm impressed of how hardcore you guys are going at each other, and at the same time, I think he kind of started it today in the private chat, and then pressed it as your comeback. Your comeback was ballsy, and I think you guys got to settle it out, and I don't know, hey, you guys are in like a aggressive state right now. Maybe you both need to listen to the stinky clinky.
It's just a very much just nobody cares moment, and Gio's my boy, so
All
let's
right.
get to it. You know what I mean?
It is what it is. It is what it is. It's okay.
I
I
think something in his face
can't
says
stress
yes.
it enough. It's not possible. It's not possible. If you're born with a ball sack, you're a man.
Does Gio have a ball sack? We don't know that for sure.
Gio's a man. Gio's a man.
Okay,
Just like,
I'm gonna lay off him because he's not in the comments.
you know,
Sorry, go ahead.
and so could either you or Gio decide to say no longer you're a man? Sure. Could you also dress as a woman? If that's your right, if you want to, but you'll still just be a guy in a dress, no matter what.
And
And no
I
matter,
just think I think even if Gio continued to identify as a man, I think there's something about him. I get this sense that there's this miraculous something in he could experience getting pregnant as a man.
You're, you're being sly and very passive aggressive, and
How's the last call?
those balls. But that's if I say it though. So now you're putting me in a spot here. You know.
No, no, don't.
You know. Look, it is what it is. Um, but going back to what we're talking about, everyone has their role, and equality. People don't understand what that means. That means equal suffering.
Mhm.
But you don't see women want to work on the roads. You don't see women wanting to be plumbers or work in sewers at best, right? Because when I was an electrician, they'd have a few women on the job site. They weren't pulling the wire. They weren't bending pipe. They weren't digging the trenches. Why? And you know what the girl told me? Because I was working traffic. The traffic department
Yeah, I remember this.
it was the electrical department, and we were setting up
Mhm.
these big signs. Those signs are heavy and they're bulky, and you don't have much time to shut a road down, right? And
Yeah.
no, she said, "Oh, you get the stuff on the truck. It's too heavy for me." And know what I
Mhm.
told her? I said, "Listen, my paycheck is just as heavy as yours," and I made her get out and do the same job I was doing. I wasn't. I mean, that's serious. That's equality.
Now that's a boss bitch.
No, but that's equality. So I have no
Yeah.
problem be there.
No, yeah.
You're going to do the same work I am, or I'm going to play the game, or I'm going to do the same. This is how a society will collapse. If she doesn't have to do the same work I do, then I get to do the same work she does, and then it all collapses. Because why, if we're making the same check, why does she have to do less? I just can't stress enough. So
Sure. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. However, as at some point we may experience a world where physical labor is less emphasized, and at that time women may have an advantage, and the roles may change. But you can say at the current time, physical labor is still at a
well,
premium. So fine.
nothing because they're not calling out the hypocrisy. They're not calling hypocrisy. Whether it's the police department or the military, they lower the standards. Why? They can't do what men do. They can't. They can't. They can't. I did it. I was in the service. They had lower standards, everything for the women. So that's the people you want to get in your back. So you're here, but you're not here. You're here as toppings on the ice cream. It's not reality. It's not
What?
real. You get what I'm saying, though, bro?
I
Like
was with you till toppings on the ice cream.
it's just an extra. That's all.
Okay.
It's just, nobody says we're going to go out for toppings. They're going out for ice cream.
What's ice cream in
With
this scenario?
the men. Okay.
Okay, I see. I, I won't agree to that because I think women have their own skill set. Um, and again, when you say in a physical
With
situation,
skill set, I'm talking about jobs men are already doing. So if they enter as a bricklayer or pouring concrete, you're telling me they're doing exactly what the men are doing?
what about as a manager? What about as a coder? I
Oh, they
mean,
okay, yeah, you got an IT job or something like that. Sure, go ahead. But even then, what happens when they get pregnant? Oh, I got to go home for 6 months. Okay, so now you hire. You know how many? I saw this thing about a law firm. And there was a lawyer saying they didn't want to hire women as lawyers. Why? Because within 6 months they get pregnant, they got to pay her to stay home, and now they're out a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Though, so that's fine. They want to get the job, but men don't just get to say, "Oh, I'm taking a 6 month break." And that's fine, right? I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But in some of these European countries, now the men get the same breaks too. Oh, my wife had a baby. I get to go home for 6 months. That's equality.
that
That
might be good.
I'm all for that because
Okay, fair
because
enough.
you understand what I'm saying, though. If they get to play the game, the men got to play the game too.
Yeah,
But the society suffers now because now you how many people are you losing in your job, and you got to pay them to stay home. You get what I'm
yeah.
trying?
I take your point, but I think you make a good argument there that that would be something possible to adopt. I want to ask you. I'd like to ask you, how is that cigar? I'm actually quite curious about that cigar.
It's not impressive, but
Okay.
It feels honestly like a little kind of nice, medium plus Habano. It's not as strong. The last call is not as strong as like the other one, as the Puro. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's not
Yeah.
with all the lines. Soft, gentle heat, tense for camping. What's up, Chewy? Don't eat
So
ass.
we didn't even address Sacco added $10, 9.99 really. It does add up. I think
Yeah,
Sacco. I think if you had, wouldn't it be like 9.89 because you're missing 10 cents if you're doing 10.99 cents increments.
I don't know.
Um, but
I don't know.
also, what do you think about? I'm interested if that Sack has been so punished. Do you think that's? I mean, obviously you think it's fair, but like, I don't know, man. If it's his opinion that Padron is a good but not great cigar, is that
You
is
want to
that
know?
not valid?
There's not enough punishment we could give Zach.
All right. Well, I had to ask. I think you should free my boy, dude. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sack and I are not boys, but I do
Zach,
think you should.
Zach is being punished
Yeah,
for what he did to those cats. Okay.
that's fair enough. Yeah. You can't undo that. You can't undo whatever you do to cats. You know what I mean?
No, once you blow away cats with buckshot, in my opinion, you're a villain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fair
Listen,
enough, dude.
I respect his balls for doing that, but man, that's some cold shit, man. That's some,
I mean, he said he lives in the country. I'm sure people in the country have to do some cold shit, but I mean, we're city boys ultimately, so
no, but to okay, he could have used a 22. He could have used a BB gun. That
I
would kill.
see what you mean.
Like 12 gauge on a cat would 12 gauge on a cat would be like death penalty in like I don't know. You used a grenade. Now a lot of people would agree with that, but it's a little much. You know, what I'm saying? You're like this is a little much.
Yeah,
It's a little
that's funny.
like
Sacco's making a prediction. He says, I have a feeling that Sack is going to be on all major news outlets pretty soon. I don't think BBC or Al Jazeera will cover it, but I think all the American outlets, yeah.
on that. No comment. No comment. I wish him the best. I think his marriage and his wife, she probably keeps him in line, and he needs that. Because I think if Sap goes off the deep end, you watch out. You know what I'm saying? Though?
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I don't know. Peter Mosmore.
possible.
I don't know what to follow that up with. I'm just thinking about the Canaries, man. It's not even just the birds, but like PETA would shit themselves over the
Dude, he's
Canaries alone.
thinking about Sack. You guys get to relax in the comment section. You're barely here. No,
Sure.
but I'm on. On the live. Every time I talk to Sack, it's in a dark room, like a villain with like one little light on here and there, and talking about canaries and cats and not having sex for 35 years and and demonic possession with pornography. I mean, some dark shit, man. And I
He's got he's got a nice look at that. Joshua
whoa,
Jackaway with $6.
tell you said $10. Hey, God bless, man. Wow, shit.
He's I'm so boring. People are sending money to liven it up.
Josh, and Josh just sent me a bunch of cigars, man. He's
Yeah,
dropping. God bless, bro. You didn't have to
yeah.
do. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
It's so funny, man. Richie's like, yeah, nobody cares. And like people are sending you cigars, they're sending you money. Richie's still like, yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, whatever, Richie.
Yeah, but look, bro. Richie has given more to the community than I've ever received. Let's just be real. I give my whole life, every night for like 5 years. I've given you my life. What more do you want from me?
Yeah.
I've given you my life. I've
I
literally
think, yeah,
given you my soul,
nobody cares.
and nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody
I
cares.
still think I think you're gonna deny it all the way up and down the wall, but I think you've improved tremendously as a presenter and as a speaker. I know look, you may have been charismatic in person your whole life, But I watched your old videos. You can't hide from me. You deleted the old videos, but I saw them before they were deleted, and you weren't always this good. So you gained something too. But
I,
nobody cares.
I wasn't what?
You weren't always this good.
What do you mean good? What's good?
You're now an excellent reviewer. You have a strong structure. You have a very powerful on-camera presence.
Well, before I wasn't reviewing with people. I was only by myself. I wasn't capable of talking to anyone live.
The stuff when you had what was it, Marry, Date, Kill or something?
Uh,
Dive Bar.
yeah, you're you're going back to like day one.
I'm going back day one. Yeah. I watched a lot of the content. I used to have Richie on the headphones while I was cooking, while I was doing all sorts of stuff. If I didn't want to think about anything else, I was listening to Richie. So I dug deep. But yeah, man, there were some times I won't. I'm not going to air that one. I'm not going to air that one, but I'll text it to you. But you didn't always have the same on-screen uh, sizzle. I mean, you really got it. Yeah, I am the number one fan. Thank you, Chewy. Um, but I don't think. I mean, I'm definitely not. But no, you've become very focused in what you do. Like when I watched the new videos. Oh, sorry. Let me just say, just between the time where you're doing the dive bar stuff with the whiteboard versus like the Ash God arc, totally different Richie, totally different skills. You really nailed it out. So anyway,
Well, I mean, I apologize for nothing.
nobody cares. I care, but nobody else cares.
What did he say? He said, Jimmy said, I'm smoking El Rey del Mundo on Richie recommendation. I'd rather smoke punch myself in the nuts. I don't. What does that mean? I'd rather smoke punch myself in the. He'd rather smoke punch. Like he's playing a.
Myself in the nuts.
What is
He'd rather smoke the brand punch. Myself in the nuts, I guess. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, no, I don't understand that.
Like Frank Villazon and General. Now it's under Forge, right? The brand punch. Myself in the nuts. I think that's what he's talking about. Oh, okay. No,
Well,
that's not what he's talking about.
well, listen, hey man, I disrespect you for that comment. I disrespect you, Jimmy.
I think you know what? I think James probably loves to punch himself in the nuts.
Yeah, listen, maybe you lost flavor in your mouth while the punching in the nuts.
We know it's a good cigar. I think he loves ball punishment.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's an unhinged,
With,
violent guy.
if anyone doesn't like it, I disrespect you. That's fine.
Yeah.
I disrespect your palate. I disrespect you. Go punch yourself in the nuts.
Yeah, those are the two options.
Literally, yeah. Hey, well, then that's irrelevant now because that's the greatest recommendation I ever gave on that cigar, and I don't know what to tell you. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Literally, Anthony P, who's crazy with Cuban cigars, is like
Yeah.
buying those cigars a week. He's smoking like 10 a week.
And a great musician who brought us
He
Sneaky Clinky.
talk about it, the stinky El Rey del Mundo.
Clinky Del Mundo. I think James, did you let that sit or you just went fresh? You got to let it sit too, I guess. Rather smoke the Ramoneones.
Hey, dude, I mean, I don't know what to tell him. I don't know where he bought this cigar. I don't know what condition it is. I don't know if it's extremely wet. Did he buy a box? I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Wait, there's an important
Hold
question
on.
we need to
Is
ask.
it
Go
his
ahead.
first night? Did he have 5 cigars today? There's a lot of factors.
James, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you love punching yourself in the nuts? And there are any cigars that you would prefer to smoke versus punching yourself in the nuts, or like a cigar smoking just not even close?
He bought a box. So he bought a box. So he got a sealed box. He's
Interesting from Neptune.
out of his mind. I think you're out of your mind, Jimmy. Jimmy, you're out of your fucking mind. I, I think you should go hang out with Sack at 3.0. Sack's at the 3.0 club. And Jackaway's, he said he's saving it for Christmas. Fantastic. It is what it is.
Very nice. I would like to get in trouble a little bit. I don't get the Olmec Claro. I only smoked one, but I think I got a decent experience with it. It's not bad, but it just seems quite high priced, and it just tastes like a fancy AJ to me.
Well, it's a good thing nobody cares.
Fair enough. Do you ever get that feeling that like a lot of the AJ blends taste like it's just different shades of so far, like most of the AJ stuff I
If
smoke, and when I say AJ stuff, okay,
AJ, most of his shit, it fits one song over and over again. If you're talking about aging room AJ, Monte Cristo AJ, H. Upman AJ, um, it is a different party, okay? Because he's working with other blenders, you know? But I've always said it, the classic AJs, they're kind of like a one trick pony, but you know they're going to be bold, generally going to be heavy, they're generally going to be strong, and they're generally going to be reasonably priced. So there's a lot going on for it. But you're never going to smoke regular AJs like San Latanos, etc., and go, my God, what a beautiful cigar. It's
you know
not.
what's fucking funny? That's exactly what I said when I smoked the San Latano, and only the San Latano. I bought everything from AJ's lines, not everything, but I bought like 7 different AJ lines. After smoking the San Latano, I thought the cigar was phenomenal, and I agree with that. And not only that, you had a review where you gave it an amazing rating, and you said it was very, very, very much a quite good cigar from AJF. Anyway,
Well,
I
which one?
digress.
Because there's so many different ones, and I can't remember. You're going back a long time for the San Latano. Which one, though?
The Habano, specifically, the green band San Latano.
Because there's a because you have the Senatanos, then you have what's the other ones with the pictures on them.
You got the Diaz de Gloria, I think it's called. You have the
No, but yeah,
Enclave.
the New Worlds, Old
Yeah,
World. There's a Then you have the Cameroon, which he sent me the Cameroon, which I'm going to enjoy reviewing that.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, I digress. My point was, well, let me say about the San Latano. The San Latano Habano scored highly in Cigar Aficionado. You gave it a great review. I thought it was a really good cigar. I think that one cigar actually stands out in his lines. That said, Um, I smoked a Southern Draw, Connecticut. I forget which one it is exactly. I smoked a La Polina Oscuro. I smoked the Nicaragua, the Agent Room Nicaragua Quattro. I smoked the Enclave. I smoked the Olmec. I'm sure I smoked more, but I can't think of them off the top. But to me, they're like 90% the same, 80 to 90% the same. Um,
You have the
it,
Jacobs.
haven't had the Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob Ladder is a good cigar.
That I hear a lot of good things about. It
But that's
sounds a little scary.
but that's AJ too, though.
Sure. But what I mean to say is like I just feel like the his tobacco has a strong house style. But I don't know. You can tell me. You just smoked 2 AJs, so um,
It, remember, it was my choice tonight because I already smoked a cigar, so I didn't want to smoke a cigar that I wanted something simple and heavy and strong because
mhm.
the palate wasn't clean. You know what I'm saying, though? So I think AJ's a good. His regular blends, I think they're a good like a closer. They're a good.
Mhm.
If your palate's already, I guess, been damaged by another cigar, just bring out an AJ. It's strong, and you're gonna at least have a flavor from it because it's very bold and very heavy, but very simple. Whereas I wouldn't want to smoke a cigar and then go have an Opus X. Why? Because you're gonna fuck up that kind of crazy profile.
You don't find that. Well, another one I find that with is my father. Maybe you don't find this the same way I do, but for me, all the my father blends I've smoked have been really similar. Even going from the Cabaguan, the Tatuaje Cabaguan, to the Monster series, to the Don Pepin stuff that's darker. Like even taking the Connecticut all the way down to like a sun grown, it has this kind of berry note, or like the Jaime Garcia. There's a berry note to it, and it's consistent across there. I think it's like a house style. It's like a house. It's a flavor in their specific tobacco. Do you know what I'm talking about?
My father's, for the most part,
Hmm.
they are similar in a sense of strong, heavy, dark cigars, and generally not crazy complex. But I feel that my fathers are a higher tier than AJ on the regular side. AJ, if you get to like AJ from Nicaragua or Monte Cristo 35, they can hang out with my father all day. So you understand what I'm saying? There's different levels of AJ, but true AJ, regular AJ is below my father. But then when AJ works with other people, they can equal my father or be superior. You know, depends. You know,
I'm gonna try to ask you again when you smoke that New World Oscuro. with the red band, the New World with the red band that you just got today from Joshua. I think that cigar is quite similar to the Olmec. That was my experience, but it is what it is, and nobody cares. Also, James says he's busting your balls, so
Hey, he can bust his balls. He can do what he wants. He can do
I
whatever he
think
wants.
he I think he likes to bust balls, man.
You know, it is what it is. Everyone here's a fucking character, and each person individually, I don't care about. And that's that. I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're gonna have a good time, and I'll joke around. So each person I joke around with differently. And honestly, what I'm doing to Sack is what he wants. I'm giving Sack what he wants. Sack loves torture. He's a
Yeah.
sick.
You like his dominatrix. It's so nice of you, Richie.
Here's what it is.
You know, it's funny. He's got such a nice demeanor about it too. You know what I mean? He's got a kind of like a calm, friendly demeanor about stuff, and then he'll say, "Yeah, and then the cats were in the
Yeah, he's
cornfield."
a serial killer that when he gets caught, they go, "He was such a nice guy."
I hope not. I hope not. I hope he's just not misguided per se, but I feel like I don't know, he's kind of in his head about some stuff. And I hope
Sack,
he finds perspective.
Sack is crazy. Sack is nuts. Let's just be honest. He's crazy. But Richie accepts him, and I treat him like everyone else. I don't care.
Sako makes a good point. He says nobody cares. So fair enough, Sako.
Refreshing statement. I never heard that. I kind of like that. Nobody cares. I got to remember that one. I wrote a song about that years ago
Hmm.
called "That's Nice." Nobody fucking cares.
Hmm.
And I played it on Facebook, but I'll have to get the recording of it. It says, "Oh, your daddy died and you inherited 100,000 shares. That's nice. Nobody fucking cares. Your dog, he died and now you cry. That's nice. Nobody fucking cares. The greatest lie of them all. If you need anything, just call. It reminds me of da 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 da. That's nice. Nobody fucking cares. That's a true song. And I wrote that like 6 years ago. It's the truth, right? For example, if someone died and you inherited $1 million and you tell me, that's nice. Do I fucking care? Did I get the $1 million or you just want to rub it in my face? You want me to be happy for you? You get what I'm saying? No, either way, nobody cares. And if you really cared, you wouldn't have to tell anyone else because if you cared, just keep it to yourself. Because if something's important, do you put it on the street or you lock it up in the safe?
Well, then you're saying that the things that people do care about, you just never come into contact with, which
Okay,
would give you a bias for thinking
for
that people
example,
don't
what,
care
what,
about things.
what do you do with your privates? Do you show them to everyone in public? You keep them private. Why? It's important to you, right? You wouldn't want to lose your cock, right? Things that are important to you, you should keep them secret. Do people put garbage in the garbage can or in their safety deposit box?
But
If it's,
but
im-
you're
if it's important, you shut your fucking mouth and you don't tell nobody about it.
but
Top,
but then but
top,
then you care about
top,
that thing.
top secret. If it's top secret, you keep it fucking top secret.
And if it's top secret, you care about it.
Exactly. So if you're sharing it with the public, you don't care about it.
So you're saying that things we come into contact with are things that people don't care about.
Of course.
But which is not quite the same as nobody cares. It's just what I'm saying. I'm trying to expand the statement to try to understand the meaning of the statement.
He said that's why I don't tell anybody about this channel.
That's funny.
Yeah, cause you get what I'm trying to say, bro. Right?
I don't quite believe that because yeah.
See somebody walking down the street and their shirt says Nike. Why? Because they don't care. However, if they walk down the street and it said, I have herpes on this shirt, why don't they advertise that? Because they care about that. They don't want you to know. It's important to them. Things that are important, you don't tell anybody. Uh, what's your name again? PG. What's the last four of your social security number?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure, there you go. Well, it's important to you. So therefore, everything we talk about here, cigars and whatever else, doesn't matter. We're just killing time because we're also bored with our bullshit fucking lives.
No, I don't agree with the basic idea,
If
but I
you're
do agree.
if
Yes.
you were a great scientist or a great writer or a great poet, you wouldn't be here right now for 1 second. Every second you need would be in a fucking lab because you're doing something great. Therefore, most people are not doing something great, and that's okay. But we could be honest about it. Most people after work they kill their time at a bar. Why? Because nobody cares. Their life is worthless. They'll sit in a chair and drink Bud Light and eat wings because nothing matters. They're living a worthless existence,
Yeah. I see what you mean.
right?
So so the lounge is a place of nobody cares. There are places of nobody cares. There are areas of nobody cares.
Being honest, we're being honest. We're being honest of pretty much how worthless we all are. We have the capability to be important, but we choose not to. How much charity work have you done today, this week? And I mean real charity work. You know,
None.
there you go.
Nothing.
Everything we do is for ourselves. We're selfish motherfuckers. There you go. Is that something to brag about? No. So at least let's just be honest about it. That's all I'm saying.
I actually don't think it's negative, Sacco. I've been mad because I have felt it was negative, but I see what you mean now. I think,
We can't start until we're being honest. So
but I
once
think, yeah.
we level with each other and
Sorry,
we
what's
meet on,
what?
and we meet on the level, then we can start. Put our guard down. Because what are we guarding anyway? Pile of shit. Pile of shit.
But can we agree that it's possible? It's possible for somebody to do something important. It's possible for somebody to care.
Yeah, then go do it. Then go do it. Stop
Sure. Stop what?
stop pretending that we care.
Yeah.
See, what I'm doing is what people aren't doing. I'm telling you that I don't care. Other people pretend they care.
Right.
Hey, hey, how you been?
Hey,
Oh,
Richie.
so
Hey,
nice,
good to see you, man.
so nice to see you. I was just thinking about calling you.
You
Really,
look great.
really, great.
I'm expecting your call. I'm expecting your call.
Yeah, yeah. We got the Christmas card thing. I put I put it right on the fridge. You know what people do with that shit? They throw it right in the fucking thing.
Just put a yeah. That's funny. PG self jokes, only having fun. Oh no, no, yeah, I know Sacco. Dude, Sacco's low key. I mean, he's only the only person funnier than Sacco is probably you, Richie. So Sacco, I know, dude. You always got me fucking cracking up in the in the text chat in the messages. You know what I mean? Sacco's always fucking cracking me up.
Is what it is.
Wait, you can get paid to jerk off into a cup. Thank you, Chewy. That is not constructive to this conversation. Sack waiting for
But it is
12:30 for the live.
a statement, though.
That is true. It's true. Yeah, Chewy. Nobody cares.
It's
And
only
also,
cool if you're at a sperm donation bank. If you're at Starbucks, you're going to get arrested.
that's true. That's true, especially if you do it in all of the cups.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all
Um,
about location, right? Taking a shit in your living room and taking a shit in the bathroom. What's the difference? Location.
right.
Location.
Yeah.
Location. So do you see what I'm talking about when things are done in the proper place? You can say, well, this living room identifies as a bathroom. I want equality. You want a toilet bowl in the living room, baby? You got it. There you go. Right? Every,
I
every
could go for that.
room should be a bathroom. Equality. Okay, you got it. Put a toilet bowl right next to the fucking fridge. Put a toilet bowl in the fridge. Why isn't there a toilet bowl in the fridge?
What about right in front of the fridge so you can just Just go straight to the source.
Yeah,
Just feed it all the way through.
in and out.
Yeah. I always think I want to have I'd like to have a bathroom that has two toilet bowls facing each other,
Yeah.
so you can really get
I,
eye to eye.
I would have two bathrooms if I built a house. I mean, two toilet bowls,
Mhm.
one for piss and one for shit.
Hmm.
Period. Don't mix it up. Don't mix it up.
Richie, you're gonna love this. They invented what's it called? Marcel Duchamp did he did a art piece about it. Urinals. They do urinals, and you only pee in them, or you're only supposed to.
It is what it is.
Okay, sorry, that was too far. But no, I think that's a reasonable idea. Although, you know what? I think the modern toilet can probably handle both reasonably. So why split it?
Well, why not?
Because you don't need the extra appliance. Have you tried Japanese toilets, the Toto toilets that they open up and they have a bidet and stuff inside of them? They have
No,
warm seat.
no.
Sako, you messing with the Toto toilet? I bet Sako's got the Toto toilet.
I don't know. You're making an assumption. I don't know.
No, I said I bet. I'm not. I mean, yeah. No, I'm saying I would wager on it. But yeah, they're very excellent. What's
Yeah,
wrong, James?
no. But nobody cares about
Yeah,
anything anyone said tonight. Nobody cares. Do you
that's a good
think
point.
someone has a pen and paper like a scribe, like a biblical times, like they're
Yeah,
writing Job and they're writing everything down? And then what did God say? Okay. No,
yeah.
nothing we do is important anymore.
We've got a stenographer.
No, no. But like people back then were doing important. Now we're taking Instagram pictures of our salad. Nobody,
Richie, I'm gonna live a more meaningful life after this conversation. Sorry to
well,
say.
the only way to do that is to be self-reflective. Some of the best things
Amen.
I've ever done in my life was helping out poor people in shelters, nursing homes, food kitchens. I've done it all, and
James,
I regret that I don't do it anymore. And it's
mhm.
really sad. It's really sad.
James, I'm not equating Japan to a toilet. I said, have you tried the Japanese toilet? They're made in Japan.
He's
That's
obviously
all I'm saying.
obviously you're busting your balls. Don't explain
Oh,
yourself.
oh, my fault. My fault.
Remember rule
This
number one: nobody cares.
Nobody's cares. No, rule number two. This guy just wants to punch in
No,
nuts.
rule number two: nobody cares that nobody cares,
Gotcha. Okay. What's rule
and
number three?
nobody cares that nobody cares that nobody cares.
Can rule number four at least be soft, gentle heat?
Rule number four is that Sack is a serial killer.
Where does soft, gentle heat come in? It's got to be in the top 10.
It doesn't need to be a rule. I shouldn't have to even explain it.
Okay, fair enough. You know what's funny to me? I love it. 90% of videos where people smoke cigars or they tell you what they're tasting, they'll light it up. They're like, you know what I mean? They're like toasting it and they go, and they go, boof, 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 and they go, bitter, tons of pepper right off the bat. Every time. Every time. Wow, tons of pepper every time.
Enough, and I've watched all their channels,
Yeah.
but they're all bullshit. They really are. And that's not me being like an asshole because this is not like a normal cigar channel. Um, Most people they're trying to be something they're not. Hey guys, where does that work out? Can you imagine you go to work? Hey, what's up, guys? What the fuck is that?
Be a menace.
If I went to somewhere, if I went to a gun shop, hey, what's up, Richie? You want to buy a Glock? Come on in. You know, what the fuck is that? I'd walk right out.
This ammo, it enters the body and disintegrates, causing maximum damage.
Yeah, great. This one creates flame. Wow.
Yeah, James, that's what I'm saying. Toto toilets will change your life. They're excellent.
Nobody cares.
Taco's got the golden toilet.
Bro,
Okay.
everyone go fuck themselves. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You want to be 451? I don't care anymore. This is the new evolution of Richie. This is peak Richie performance. This is the last evolution of Richie. I've reached complete nirvana. Nothing matters. Nobody cares. I'm done. I'm done caring about anyone, anything. You're on your own. You're on your own. It's kind of like after high school. Well, now what? Go get a job. Go pay your rent. Go get a car. Buy your own fucking food. You're on your own. Now we're at the point, this is Papa Richie. I'm treating you all like adults now. Nobody cares. But what about, nobody cares. But nobody cares. What about this cutter? Nobody cares. Hey, Richie, nobody cares. That's kind of mean. Well, nobody cares.
I
It's
think people.
to understand that the people in your life, they really don't care. You could probably count on your hand less than five people that really care about you. So what does that mean? Everyone else in your life doesn't care about you.
I only have like 7 people in my life.
And,
I don't.
so I
Yeah.
want you to wait till about 3 in the morning and call them up and text them all and say, I'm on the side of the street or I'm in the hospital and see what happens. See if they come see if you're okay. See if they get out of bed and ruin their sleep to come see if you're okay. I promise you. And the only
I
reason 911 comes is because the policeman and the ambulance are getting paid. So they don't care. It's a service, just like a prostitute. You gave them money through taxes and they'll provide a service, but they don't care about you. They don't care.
Richie, can we have a moment of silence for?
Nobody cares. It is what it is.
I think I think really the message that I'm taking away, which I think, well, a few things. I take your point about you need to be honest first, right?
Mhm.
And before that, what can you do? Nothing. So that's number one. Number two, people, there are many things that people don't care about, and nobody cares about those things. That's number three, but or number two. But then I think number three is if you want something, I mean, then do you care? You know what I mean? Then what is it? What do you care about? If these things nobody cares about, why should you care? And then if you don't care, then why are you doing it? Shouldn't you pursue something that you do care about?
Well, because generally speaking, our society is not based on what you care about. Your electric bill, your phone bill, your car bill, your child support, your mortgage doesn't care. Just give me the fucking money. Well, do you care how I earn the money? Nobody cares. Well, what if I go to college and get a degree to pay those bills? Nobody cares. Well, what if I just go on OnlyFans and suck dick to pay those bills? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Do you understand what I'm saying, though? Fuck you, pay me. That's all this world cares about. They don't care how you got the money. That's what it is. Do you think when you die, your phone company's gonna come there? He was a
Mhm.
good phone payer. He used to pay that phone on time. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. You think so? You think so? You think your credit card company's gonna come to your grave? He had an 800 credit score. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. Nobody cares.
I thought this is what happens if you have 800. What the fuck's the point of an 800 credit score?
No, no, they don't like people with good credit. They want people with bad credit because they can charge you worse interest rates.
Oh.
This is why they don't teach people proper money management. For the elect or people that get out of that and choose to learn, that aren't sitting around at a bar, they can learn about. But for the most, what is automatic in this life is not good for you. The real people that have run this world are the smart people that are at least running their own life in a good way. They're not hanging out with idiots drinking Bud Light at a bar. Why? It is what it is. People that don't care, they get what they deserve. Can't stress it enough. I'm going to sleep. I don't care about this place anymore.
Thank you, Richie. Thank you for enlightening us and for enlightening me.
I hope you learned something.
I did.
Yeah. I think we had a good. The last half hour we really broke through. We broke through when we got to the top secret stuff. We broke through.
I'm really feeling like nobody cares.
Just you get off the channel and you just hang yourself, or you is what it is.
Hey, you wouldn't know and nobody cares. Where'd PG go? Nobody cares.
Rest in peace.
Rest in PG.
DEA, RIP, whatever. Hey, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. All right.
Yeah. Save it for later. No, do the freezer. Freezer saves it longer.
Oh, okay. All right, bro.
All right, man.
Peace.
Good night.